Startup Podcast PH is co-produced by Yspaces, Aperon, Tuala, Simf, Secuna, Maroon Studios, Aimhigh, and Compare Loans. Check out our partners in the description.
Our next session would be about open mic. So every founders are given 10 minutes to talk about your business. Okay? So our first open mic believes loyalty shouldn't be complicated. And we're not talking about relationships, ha? This is about brand loyalty. Let's welcome Bong Misahon, CEO of Codes&Tokens.
Yes, good afternoon to everybody. I'm Bong Misahon. I'm actually the founder of Raffle Exchange King, and it's a company that provides raffle promotions technology to modern retail. But I'm not going to talk about Raffle Exchange. I'm going to talk about a new product and a new service we're going to launch soon called Codes&Tokens. So how many of you have a credit card and downloaded a credit card app? Okay. So does the credit card company know you? Yes, right? Does the credit card company know whenever you buy from restaurants or from groceries? Yes. Okay. How many of you are doing their groceries and buying consumer goods? Like your shampoo, your soap? Yes. Ma'am, what do you buy in your grocery and consumer goods? Any brand? Sunset, yeah. Sunset Unilever, right? Am I mistaken? Does Unilever know you? No, right? Does Unilever know that one week ago you bought a Sunset from a certain estate? No, answer is no. So what we're going, Codes&Tokens is about Unilever or any consumer goods companies knowing you and knowing sometime last week you bought Sunset. Right? And then next month, you run out of Sunset. Are you a loyal Sunset user? Not really. Oh. So if you didn't buy Sunset next week, you will wonder why you did not buy Sunset again. Right? So Codes&Tokens is about consumer products companies connecting with consumers. Because right now they're not connected with any of their consumers. Somehow they're connected to intermediaries, like the retailers, maybe social media platforms, but they don't have your information. So Codes&Tokens is basically a direct-to-consumer loyalty platform. And we have a way of providing consumer product companies a loyalty program that basically does that. For them to know who's buying their products, what they are buying, and because of this connection, because it's basically a loyalty program, they can basically do what other loyalty programs can do. Like your credit card app, which sends you every now and then promotions, right? So basically that's Codes&Tokens. The way we do it is there's a very simple blueprint to that. Our system, that's why it's Codes&Tokens, we provide unique codes that we give to consumer product companies so they can embed those unique codes to all their products. And then when you buy Sunsilk or Safeguard, for example, the consumer will simply get that code, input it in the app, so they get rewarded. But the act of entering the code basically tells the consumer product companies, you bought that product. They know it, and you bought this consumer bought Sunset. Okay? And that is a very valuable data that they get every day. And they can analyze and track in the tool. So that, in a nutshell, is Codes&Tokens. I'll stop with that. I don't want to, so I can spend the next, how many more minutes do I have?
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, take my time for some Q&A. If anyone is interested about how we're going to, what is Codes&Tokens, and how does it work?
Thank you so much, Sir Bong. We have Sir Bong. May few questions now. So before we move to our next speaker, does anyone here in the room have questions about Codes&Tokens? Meron po ba? Wala. Sige, ako na lang, sir. Sige, tanong ko lang po, sir. Can you maybe share to us the first time na nagkaroon ko ng client si Codes&Tokens? Do you still remember that time? And maybe can you share to us how you approach them? What does it feel? And ano yung naging contribution niya sa growth ni Codes&Tokens?
Codes&Tokens. So, Codes&Tokens, as I have said, is a new product idea that we're launching sometime next month. We're just waiting for the filing of the intellectual property. But we haven't had our first customer yet because the customers we're hunting or running after for are the big consumer products companies. These are big enterprises that takes a while for you to sign a deal. Okay, but I'm an ex-Procter & Gamble, I'm an ex-P&G, and I have a lot of friends in the consumer product, fast in the FMCG space. So we are in the process of connecting with them and presenting our services and having meetings, having presentations. We're still in the process. No, first client, first for Codes&Tokens. If you talk about travel exchange, we have had a lot of clients already. The modern retail, the Google, the SM, our biggest client will be Codes&Tokens. But I don't want to talk about how I got to them because I want to Codes&Tokens.
Thank you so much, Sir Bong. Okay, a few questions.
Hi sir, so you mentioned your product is a loyalty program, yes? So you will be collecting the information of your the customers of your partner companies, if I'm not mistaken. I'd like to ask, since maybe the information being collected might be sensitive, I think you'd want to assure the people you're working with that you can protect the information that you're collecting. I'm curious as to what steps you're taking to secure this information for both your partner companies and their consumers.
Yes. So the way we see this happening is that we have a framework, an app framework. Then we will have the big enterprises. And I did there. So if let's say for example Procter & Gamble, I've been in R&D and IT at Procter & Gamble. When you deal with them, they basically own them, right? All the standards, the terms and conditions, security, etc. So that's how we see it playing out. So us knowing and owning part of the product, it could be all ours, it could be all theirs, but we have a certain percentage. We will work with it to make sure that the application runs in accordance with how they want to do it because they're the client and how they want to secure the infrastructure, the data, and even the terms and conditions of the data of the, what you call it, the privacy policy. Answer your question.
Yes, thank you.
All right, thank you. Few more questions. Okay, if not, thank you so much, Sir Bong, for sharing us your insights about codes and tokens and FMCG industries out there. If you're interested with the services of codes and tokens, so feel free to reach out to Sir Bong. Alright, to our second open mic would be as someone who knows how to make global trade easy from China, Korea, Taiwan, and Hong Kong straight to the Philippines. No stress, just success. Let's give it up for easy outsourcing.
Hi everyone! Good afternoon! So, sino na dito nakapag-import? Raise your hand. Oh, okay. Sino yung hindi pa nakapag-import kasi takot? Okay. Anyway. So, hi everyone. I'm Aileen Bautista. So, I'm the General Manager of Easy Sourcing. So, we help businesses import and export with ease. Before kasi import lang kami. And right now, we also help Filipino businesses to export to other countries, Asian and other countries. So, imagine Jerry, an aspiring business owner in Cebu. Tapos, he's very afraid of importing because like most first-time importers, he runs into problems like takot siya na baka ma-scam siya, takot siya na after you mag-send ng money abroad, they wouldn't ship the products like what he wanted. And he doesn't know how to ship all these customs and paperwork. And then also language barrier that you have to deal with if you're importing from abroad or exporting to abroad. So what happens is most people would give up or hindi sila magta-try kasi takot nga sila. So what we do is we help business owners like Jerry source directly from verified suppliers abroad. And then we also negotiate on their behalf so that mas mura yung makukuha nila na products and also quality pa rin. And if they're importing, let's say, the whole container, we can also check the items before the suppliers load it dun sa container. So, and then we also help them pay suppliers in foreign currencies. So those are our services. So basically, we take care of the hard part so that Jerry would grow the business easier. And our first customer story, so actually we started 2020, so pandemic baby siya. So we started with one customer, 2020, yeah, mga October or September 2020. And then how we landed that first customer, it's actually pretty simple. It's just via FB ads. And then free version ng Canva. So since I started it alone, so at my home, wala pa kaming office at the time because we wanted to check if there's market for this one. So we wanted it to be as cost-effective or as cheap as possible para ma-test out namin yung market. So at home lang talaga siya nag-start. And then ang cool is this customer from 2020 is still our customer right now. And then, yung second customer namin, yung kapatid nitong first customer. So, pero differential siya. So cute. Kasi before, nag-start ko may mga 5,000 or 6,000 lang yung first traction namin back in 2020. And then right now, they're doing 5 digits per month. So this is a recurring importation na from them. Which is cool kasi we get to see them really grow and they also get to see us grow slowly. So it's a cool relationship with them, and it also reminded us that business always starts small. So with people who believe in you, and then hindi lang siya eh. Meron din kaming land na TikTok, parang medyo influencer siya. Magkakapatid sila that are in businesses that nag-start with one sister and then konti-konti. Yung group chat namin sa Viber, naging 10 people na. So it really starts small. And so if any one of you that are aspiring entrepreneurs, then for me is use your best idea. So you always need to learn more. And that's part of the journeys. But don't let the desire to know everything stop you from taking the first step. So of course, ganun naman siya palagi. More to learn, more skills to develop, and more research to do, but there's no perfect moment. Kasi perfect plan often means waiting forever. So start small, imperfectly, and each step you take will teach you something new. And what's next for our Philippine startup ecosystem is that sana we come together and then we collaborate more so that we can make the pie bigger for the entire startup in Philippines. Kasi maraming countries na kuwari, naging unicorn yung startup. Konting-konting nag-flow yung investment and that more people are having more confidence in this specific country. So I hope that would also happen in the Philippines, regardless or despite all the stuff going on in government right now. So I think we should really make the pie bigger so that we're not fighting over a small slice. And then instead we create more opportunities for everyone. So everyone eventually benefits kasi if mas malaki yung pie. So let's say suppliers, freelancers, customers, and then even future founders. So that's how we all win. So when one startup grows, it pulls others up. So yeah, thank you. And then another side kwento. Thank you so much, Sir Johnny, for the Startup Podcast and also the team of Startup Podcast. Kasi meron kaming na-land na, so I did an online interview with Sir Johnny. I think it's 2023, so pandemic pa that time. And then after that, also it's 2023, and then flash forward to this 2025. So meron kaming client na naging client pala namin through the interviews they saw online. Wow, nalaping talaga ako. So hindi ko siya alam. Nakwento lang niya sa amin nung nag-business na kami together. So, we even went together to China to really visit his Chinese supplier para make sure that everything is legit and stuff. And then I also get to travel with his parents. So it's really cool. It doesn't stop at a business transaction basically. It's really about relationship, about people, and keeping it longer, yeah, and then benefit each other. So it's really cool. So thank you so much for doing or having an avenue like this. I hope the group can keep it up together more so they could help more businesses. Yeah. Thank you.
Alright, thank you so much, Ma'am Eileen. Few questions. Anyone in the room? Okay, ayan. Hey, sir.
Yeah, hi. To correct me, amplify me, or call me for more. Is your company easy sourcing is genuinely or specifically a brokerage? Yun? Why or why not? And if it is, what they said so far? Thank you.
It's actually a freight forwarder here. And then all-in siya. By all-in, I mean it's a one-stop solution. So we help in sourcing. So if ever you don't have yet supplier abroad, we help you source that supplier na i-verify talaga namin yung supplier na legit siya. And then after sourcing, we also do the logistics. So ayun, once na you have supplier, we take care of the logistics of bringing it into the Philippines. And then after the logistics, and we also have, let's say, if you're becoming a bigger importer now, we also have that factory, container loading shipment. So we check the container for you on your behalf. Let's say, kung sa China yan or sa Korea yan, we help you check it first and ensure na wala talagang damage dun sa product before it gets shipped here in the Philippines. And then we also help you pay your abroad suppliers para ma-make sure na, let's say, yun nga, para mas mura siya. So sometimes it's cheaper than USD. For example, in China, we help them pay in CNY or the local currency because sometimes suppliers give it cheaper as compared to sending it via USD. So it's all-in-one, it's a one-stop solution basically. So that's, I guess, is the difference with the others. I'm not sure if na-answer ko ba yung question.
Okay, so to follow up. So, ang registration mo sa DTI or corporation of DTI, so ano yung, so also see yung yung main work line of basis.
Ano siya eh, all-in siya. So we do product sourcing, logistics, and then we also pay on your behalf. So sometimes you could send us the payment first and then we pay their China suppliers para meron silang safety net para okay, para ma-make sure na verify talaga yung supplier at hindi sila magloko. Kasi marami naman sa first-time importers or kahit long-time importers na takot sila na magloko yung supplier nila. So we become their safety net and to really ensure na totoo tong supplier na kinaka-transact nila. So it's an all-in from product to logistics. Yeah. Ano yung DTI service there?
Business registration sa other department of training.
Yeah. Ano yung medicine? We don't transact.
What? You don't trust? You haven't registered yet in DTI?
Oh, we have.
Yung tanong ko.
Yung tanong mo. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Eileen. Any more questions? Okay. I thought anything, Ma'am. He has questions. All right.
Hello. So I know you've been transacting or dealing on behalf of Philippine businesses, right? Are you also open to offer it, for example, California, and been sourcing products from China or from Asia?
That is something we have to explore yet. Right now, wala pa kami kasi mas forte nga namin yung Philippines. But that is something we can explore in the near future.
I'll keep you in mind.
All right. Any more questions? Ayun, meron pa.
Right. So I have a question in regards to your system with customs land. So how is that process with the customs payment?
Usually for the customs, meron din kaming other partners who handles them. Kasi of course, hindi namin kaya na lahat siya in-house. So we also have partners who handle the customs side. Medyo headache yan. So.
Hello, I have a question. So, since I work with industries like yours, directly to China, I'm going to ask also about the move of warehousing. Because that's really missing brands. We're working with DC brands, right? So, they also offer warehousing because I think that's also might be something that we make this.
Yeah, right now we don't have warehousing services yet, but yeah, something to explore. Medyo matrabaho kasi yung warehousing, so it might be something to explore in the near future as well.
Any more follow-up questions? Meron po ba? Wala na. Alright, any more questions? And meron pa. Madami yung interested sa sa industry ng easy sourcing.
So it's up to you how you process the question. The only question I have is how do you guys handle refunds?
For refund for shipping or ano?
Yeah, I guess.
For China when they import.
Right.
Oh, I see. So, what's good? Kaya kami may product sourcing kasi may na-encounter din kami before na gano'n na nagloko yung supplier niya. Tapos, kumari, if they have a photo, kumari yung photo na yun is a jewelry, parang charm bracelet. Tapos, ang dumating sa kanila is walang charm bracelet na lang. So, maraming mga ganong klaseng issue. So, in the end, what we offered the product sourcing na lang. So, make sure talaga namin na legit yung supplier, na tama talaga yung makukuha nila na product as what they ordered. So if in case na nagkaroon, tapos under product sourcing yun, kasama na yun dun sa fee namin. So we charge a service fee. So doon po kasap yung nag-claim talaga kami, nagre-return refund kami, ganun. So yun yung maganda sa product sourcing. And maraming ganung issue na masakit talaga sa ulo yan. And usually kasi yung photo nila, same lang sila. But then when you receive the product, iba na yung quality or very different from what the supplier claims. So, yeah.
Alright, thank you so much. I think we're good with the questions. Thank you so much. Napagod si Ma'am Aileen sa kanya. Okay, so there you have it. So it felt so great na because Ma'am Aileen was able to do podcast interview with us, she were be able to have her client as well. So sa hindi pa nagpapa-podcast sa amin dyan, it's time. Alright, so here we go now. It's time to switch gears a little for our first fireside chat. We'll be hearing fresh insights from the minds shaping the startup space. So get your questions ready because this is your chance to pick their brains. All right? So, Johnny? Okay, so our first fireside chat. Alright, so our first fireside chat will be our guest. Our guest for the first fireside chat will be Agile Data Solutions. Sir Carl Gendrick Chu.
Siguro okay lang ako kami. Kita na kami from there. And then tignan naman yung audio namin. So, share ko lang din.
Di ba short stacks naman ito rin. So, pero pag matanggal ko yun, pwede naman ito rin, di ba?
Saka yun, so podcast time tayo pero live tayo dito. So ayun, so pagkwentuhan lang natin si Agile Data Solutions. Actually, we already did a podcast interview before, but here now, kasi ang team na event na ito is getting your first customers. So maybe sa ating kwentuhan, share natin ano ba talaga si Agile Data Solutions. Actually, kaka-part 2 lang pala natin last week. And then how you got your first customer, customer strategy in like getting these customers. So ayun si Sir Carl, no? So maybe you can introduce muna to everyone. Ano nga ba ang Agile Data Solutions?
Yeah, so I'll make some quick introductions to myself. So I'm Carl Chong. So I'm the COO of Agile Data Solutions. And basically, our company is already 4 years old as of this time. No? With me today is our head of tech, Luis. One of the greatest developers that we have. But we're Agile Data Solutions. We're a market research technology company. So who here has basically done thesis or capstone project in university, or maybe you've done a survey for your as a startup founder. You've done survey before. You've interviewed some of your clients, feedback, stuff like that, right? So we're a platform that could help you with all of that. And the reason why we created this company is because in the Philippines, market research is pretty slow. It's pretty, individualistic. Each company does it on their own. If they do use a consultant, if they do use, market research companies, it's still pretty slow. It's still pretty manual. People have to go out and do data gathering in person. And this is something that is in contrast with all the technological developments that we've had in the past 90 years, right? Here in the Philippines, almost every single person that you have that's out there has a smartphone. From a person from the highest class society to the lowest class society, you'll be able to find a smartphone anywhere here in the Philippines, right? And so with that thought in mind, we wanted to create a world-class market research platform which is Hustle PH. So I haven't sent a slide to Danny before, but basically Hustle PH is our mobile app platform where Filipinos can join and do market research activities in exchange for basically cash incentives or different prizes. And it's not a very out there idea, but the fact that it is on mobile, accessible to any Filipino, and that they can then withdraw it to e-wallets, which has been a very recent technology, is something that sets us apart from other market research companies. So Johnny asked me about how we got the first client.
Siguro, actually, kasi parang medyo humble yung pag-business regard. Actually, 2 times na na-interview sa podcast ang Agile Solutions. But actually, they actually have very big clients. And actually, the app is inside, ano ba sabihin? Gcash, actually.
Yeah.
So, it's like Gcash.
We're actually a Gcash partner. You'll be able to find us on the Gcash app under the Earn Money icon. And happy to say that we actually have 1.2 million users on the platform right now. So yeah, we're growing day by day. And I guess this is something that is very normal to Filipinos because, of course, we have to admit that not just us, but regular Filipinos basically have the hustle culture, right? We're trying to earn just a few bit more to help our families and the everyday. And Hustle PH is basically a great way to extend that. So previously, in the past, market research companies typically had a very slow system where they had to go to different barangays. Now, you could do it on the Hustle PH platform. You could reach your customers instantly, get their feedback instantly. So imagine, rather than having a customer from Bulacan, you have to send a research team to Bulacan to get their information and then process that information like in the span of 3 months, which is the current standard, by the way. You can do it instantly overnight, get the data in as fast as a week, do that multiple times over, and then you'll have something that could help you iterate your product easily. Especially when you're in the product development stage, which I'm sure, as founders, you're very aware of how fast it is that we have to change our product day by day. And that's something that we actually keep still doing right now. We are actually creating services for our clients that have not been done before. So we're trying to, create services that we have never touched before, because traditionally, a platform like us would just be doing surveys. There's no platform that does, focus groups, interviews, product testing, home testing. Like all of these different types of services are all being done under one banner. Actually, if you see this right now, thank you, Johnny, for setting this up, but we're actually even doing advertising on the platform. So if you want people to, for example, test out your app, test out your new product at home, have that downloaded, have them shared organically, this is really a great way to do it.
Yeah, and actually that's why I'm very amazed dito, no? Kasi ano siya, working mechanism. Kapag you made that mechanism that's working, na nako-connect na ngayon really, for example, a large company or even as I said kanina, academe, if they want research with a platform, so they will ask for market research to make tasks na gagawin ng mga hustlers to the app na may incentivize, may cash yung mga hustlers, yung mga tao. Na actually, nagbibigay ng information na magiging research for this. So, that's really what's amazing there kasi yung mechanism, kumbaga, yung system na yun ay nabuo siya and now with 1 million plus users. So, now, Carl, siguro let's talk naman about how you got your first. Parang 2 sides yung customers dito eh. Maybe one, yung client na paying for the market research. And second, yung hustlers, yung mga gumagawa ng tasks na nagsisipin information for the research.
That's a great question, Danny. So for me, I'm probably going to be sharing about one of my most loyal clients. One of our first clients, but not the first clients, because I think that is something that can't be replicated easily. So I'm just going to share about one of my clients. So they're an OLA company, and believe it or not, I joined this company as basically employee number 1. And I became updated to a founder status, but basically I reached out to them through LinkedIn, the call phase. So it was just after the pandemic. We are a pandemic-made company, so we started, 2021, and it was a time when I'm pretty sure all of us here, have ignored people from doing credit card reach outs right now on LinkedIn. But at the time, LinkedIn was basically the only way to get new clients. I was able to utilize LinkedIn Premium to connect with with president and directors of several companies. And believe it or not, it worked. By the way, for some weird reason in 2021 it freaking worked, even though right now it won't. But yeah, it was an avenue for me to tap new clients. I was able to connect with a director, a president who was able to make the decision that, okay, we need to update our systems of research because we're lagging behind our competition. And that's also something that you might want to employ as well, because if you're a B2B business, you might not want to target the top one client, right? Because they might not have the need for your services. But however, the top two client in that industry might need your services to get an edge over the top one. So that's also something that I actually utilized to land this client, and now they're doing, business with us every year. It is, actually quite happy to say that we just did, 5 projects this year with them. And so it's an increasing source of business and revenue. And the great thing about that is it also, because of the great customer service, people who leave that company go on to other companies have actually generated and referred new business to us when they go to the next company. So yeah, take care of your clients really well, and don't be shocked to find a client just out of nowhere. Like through LinkedIn, that's not something that's normal, but before, now it's become too much ubiquitous that you even more people on LinkedIn messaging you. But yeah, take advantage of these types of tools.
I'm just curious, pardon ako, kasi first of all, wala pang chat GPT noong 2021. So how did you do that? Cold message siya yung page.
I mean, okay. So I'm coming kasi from coming into this, and as you might have noticed, like our platform is really designed to help businesses specifically. And actually, the dream was from the start. I got hooked by our founder into the dream, which was to create a business that would be able to serve all facilities of all levels of society in the Philippines. It should not just be limited to like just one section. And actually, what we wanted to build was basically the Grab version, the Grab company version of market research. So we wanted to serve from the very, very small, the small entrepreneur who are working out of their garage, to the biggest top companies out there, to the academies, to the government. So NGO and government offices are also something that we want to help out. And to just, basic students out there who really want to master their research skills. Because we believe that it is a foundational skill for any entrepreneur, for any, high-functioning individual out there. So, when we, sorry, Jai,
so this is on the side of the clients, the one who asks for research. How about the hustlers? How do you approach them? How do you make them use the app? Although may cash incentive, I believe if they do a task sa Gcash earn something, they may get money. Pero how did you approach them in the first place? And paano kaya aabot ng 1 million plus users?
So that was actually one of the scariest things. Kasi ang platform namin is actually a C2B. So basically our industry is a C2B. You've heard B2B, B2C, kami naman C2B. It's basically the opposite. Consumers to businesses. They provide data to us and we provide them cash, basically. And then we have the B2B business side of things naman, wherein we sell this data to our clients naman. So that's how the industry works. And basically, during our first adventures out, we started off like first as a small developer app, and then actually we lost funding. We had to create a website to keep the business going because a website is cheaper to run. And then when we had new funding, we got new investment. We were able to then fully focus on the app side of things. But as a website, one of the biggest challenges was, getting users, right? How do people know about you? So we tried advertising on Facebook. We tried advertising on, all the social medias, but this actually is something still true today. We're still banned actually on Facebook for advertising because it seems like a scam, right? Who would actually go inside an app and believe that you'll get free cash? All apps are just trying to get cash from you. There's no app that tries to give out free cash, which we're doing, by the way. So yeah, that was pretty much the hardest part of the thing because you can't get involved like scam. So if we have a user, for example, that provides false data, we as an organization, of course, won't give out the associated reward. We don't want to reinforce bad behaviors. So because of that, you kept getting called scam, Facebook, so it is a repeating cycle of how to get a stable base of users. But thankfully, because we are consistent with our branding, we are consistent with our messaging, we're also consistent with our processes, we're able to develop a small form of loyal, or what we call customers, users of our platform. This loyal core is then able to manage the fringes of our user base. And with a partnership with Gcash, this helped us go to the next level. Because now we're able to scale up our previous products, our previous messaging, our previous branding, and with the user base of Gcash, we're then able to absorb a small bit of users day by day and have them experience the consultation.
And actually, if I may add information naman kasi actually I know the story behind that yung pinatumuhan ni Matt since I doesn't part to with Jason, our chairman. No? Their story was actually they have a sole investor, right? Which nakuha nila sa the final pitch. Are you familiar ba sa the final pitch?
So it's basically, Shark Tank or
so they actually got it there. But very, very important, if I remember correctly the story, very important natin na so parang pantawid for the salaries. But then after that, since nabuo naman na yung processes and system, naging, profit generating, such that hindi na kailangan ng another investor. Tama ba yun?
Correct. So, I like to say that after the first 2 years, we're actually completely bootstrapped. So, ever since that has come in with the proper financial management, making sure that you're not making too many damaging moves to your finances, but while still ensuring that you're able to provide good services to your clients, still providing a good experience to your users, you'll be able to also bootstrap a project like this to the next level. So, we are, however, looking into how we're going to expand into the next level because we don't want to stay at 1 million users. We are seeking to make sure that this is something that's not only driven here in the Philippines but also outside because we do have some clients who are operating globally who wants us to go out to Thailand, Vietnam. So once we are able to fully capture, not capture the Philippine market, but basically master our different processes and different new products in the Philippines, we want to also scale this up into other countries as well.
Before you open the floor, last questions. Last question, Carlo. So, of course, hindi na kayo puro LinkedIn message, LinkedIn, ganyan. So, parang nag-iba ba yung strategy, nag-iba ba yung messaging even, or like the marketing even, and how you, kasi right now, you have many, not just one, you have many clients, and research site, and like the pay side. So, like back in 2021, 2020, that time, nag-iba ba yung parang strategy, messaging, in order to grow a client base that you have now?
Right. So I guess the thing that I would tell people is don't underestimate social skills. People right now, we're living in an age of technology, but we're really forgetting that they're also human, and that decision makers on the other side are also people, right? And so you don't have to focus on one aspect. You really have to be good at all aspects. One thing that I realize as a salesman, and that's really what my skill is that I haven't, when I left my previous company in banking, and basically my whole network back then was, small businesses. And I had to transition to now, which is like, I'm trying to target corporations and trying to target big businesses for their business. Is that, okay, because I had to start from scratch, I had to actually tap into all of my networks. And I'm just not talking about a singular network of close friends or family members, but I'm talking about everything. I had to tap my neighbors. I had to tap my gym buddies. I had to tap every single community that I'm locked in. I tapped in my gaming community as well. So to search for new clients, and I was able to somehow generate a selection of clients from there. Don't underestimate all of your years on this earth. I think I forget the book, but basically someone told me that it just takes 6 steps to get to any person that you want, right? Basically, if you know a person who knows a person, like you can use that to land your first client. You can use that to land your next client even. So yeah, that's something that I think people still underestimate, that we're still human and that your clients are still human.
To maximize your networks. Although sa sales, no, I mean, maybe lang, baka lang sa, how do you really, parang, do you really maximize or sometimes makakawin ka na sa'yo yung mga gym values mo or something like that. So, of course, you have to approach it correctly. May technique mo lang.
Okay, I think when it comes to technique, it really varies from person to person because I've always kept telling people, I'm not actually an extrovert. I'm actually a natural introvert, and then I became an ambivert through my sales journey. And every single type of personality, as a salesman, it will take a different type of technique for you to connect with other types of people as well. So try to learn those techniques. Like for example, I myself, I love doing events because that's where people come to me for information. But there are also events where I have to break into a circle, and I think for most people, this is really the most difficult thing. Trying to enter, for example, a group of people talking with each other when you're not in that conversation in the first place, it's super difficult, right? And so what I did was I developed a snacking technique. Basically, most conventions like these would have food, right? I'd grab a plate, I'd ask them to, can I join your table? And then start the introductions that way. Find an icebreaker that works for you. My technique might not work for you, it might mess you up, but you can start developing it your way and start from there. Don't be afraid to fail. That's also something that I really realized is something crucial when you're entering unfamiliar territory. Because, like for example, I started dance classes recently, and the biggest hurdle over there was that I am afraid to dance because I know I have zero body splits, right? Like I have zero body mechanics. But I said, okay, just do it. If you improve a little bit, that's already a win. If you make connections with people over there and find more clients, that's a better win for you. So, just try to jump over the hurdle. Again, you're human. Fear is not, basically, bravery is not the opposite of fear. Bravery is there because it's doing so in spite, right? So, just be brave. That's also something that I want to be.
Just be brave. And my food tayo later. Akin na ako.
Yeah, try to practice that technique with the rest of the people here, right?
But yeah, my food tayo may coffee na actually, and I take my drink then. So, be brave, be brave. Ayun, thanks for actually for sharing all of this. And maybe let's open the floor for any questions you may have about Agile solutions, about the app, or maybe about sales and getting their first portfolio. So, sige, meron dyan gusto magtanong, any questions, or yeah.
So, I really appreciate the dynamic of Agile data solutions. I'm a big background about me. I'm actually a marketer from the South. So, what we usually do is part of marketing is where we collect data. And even different method like quantitative, quantitative, etc. So, I just parang I question myself, if I'm the business owner, how would I collect data? Well, there's the pros and cons. If I'm going, option 1 is to do it myself, option 2 is to do it with you. Now, the option 1, if I'm going to collect my data, I would have control with it and I would actually check it internally. So, there's a sense of security and control because I myself, we collect the data based on our business. Now, I can say if I'm going to, let's say, work with you, hindi ko nakikita yung data. Right? So, you talked about the service, economy pricing, will it match with my budget of most of our startups? How would you actually, what's your reason why we should work with you? And what's your advantage behind the control and the security behind the data? And how are we be able to save time, save energy, and save money at the same time since we're outsourcing this specific service externally?
Great question. Can I get your name?
Jethro.
Thank you so much for the question, Jethro. So that's a great question, and I always suggest that as business owners, you should initiate market research on your own, right? Because if you don't know your market, then what is the use of you doing what you're doing right now? So I completely agree with that, Jethro. But okay, coming from us, what's great about our platform that I believe no other platform has cracked yet is making sure that data is verified. So what do I mean by this? Whenever we do a survey, we actually ask users to take a selfie to prove behaviors. So I had this pet food client, right? And as a pet food brand, you only want to talk with pet owners. So if you're not a pet owner, your opinion doesn't matter to me, right? So what we did was we actually asked users to take a selfie with their pet. It's something very simple, something very easy to do. If you're a pet owner, there should be no excuse for you not being able to do it. So taking a selfie with your pet, asking you if you have a pet or not, if your answer doesn't match that photo that you provided, then why should we trust your data? That's something very simple, right? Something easy to do. Because we did this, we're able to ensure that we can classify each person as a dog owner, as a cat owner, and we can replicate it for all different types of other projects. So we have clients, for example, who are only concerned with having people with a refrigerator at home. Ask people to take a selfie of the refrigerator. People who use Sunsilk, they ask that person to take a photo of themselves using a Sunsilk, sachet or a Sunsilk bottle. So that's how we verify things, and we do it, via manual way. We check it. We check each data point, and we use AI to verify the data point. So, as to why you should trust us with doing our research, how we can save you time and energy. It's because not every single person here will need to master all of the skills, right, of doing research. And if you do it yourself, just imagine going physically to, let's say, Pinas and knocking on the doors of 50 people there to take your survey. If you have experience doing research on your own as a student, I don't need to tell you how hard it is for people to actually just, answer that sheet of paper that you provide to them, or trust you to show up, for example, to a classroom to get interviewed by you. So that's the reason why we incentivize people with cash, and then we verify their data to ensure that both parties are satisfied. So the party from our users are confident that
we are only sharing their data because we paid them for that data, and our clients naman are assured because we verify each data point, something that I doubt a lot of platforms do, to be honest. I'm sure they have their own, but I believe it's something revolutionary for our industry.
I think may have a question.
You have another question.
Hi, good afternoon once again. It's okay. This is it. Actually, I'm also a marketing consultant. Talaga. And I'm also a marketing consultant, but I've been practicing for 8 years now. In support to Jethro's question, I'm more concerned on the genuineness of the value of the data that you provide, because I see that you're able to fix the logistics, you're able to fix the thorough process of the data collection, right? But how do you marry the idea of understanding the data? Because I get it, it's objective, it's research-based, versus towards the businesses that you're serving. Like, how do they connect? How do they appreciate the data that you're giving? Given that you said already that it's important for, of course, founders to do the market research on their own so that they're able to understand the problem themselves well. So, with or through your business, how do you communicate and articulate so that these businesses, once to just fasten or speed up the process, will be able to also have the same level of empathy and depth towards the interviews that they're able to collect or the data that you're able to communicate to them?
Your name, sir?
Sign like a signature.
Okay, I thought sign is co-sign. Anyway, sign, thank you so much for that question. So, again, I think what is here is that what we're offering is our expertise as a platform in data collection. That is really our specialty. So, like for example, I have a client who has asked us to collect data from Fireside stores. And this is a big problem, by the way, for FMCGs. There are so many damn Fireside stores all over the country that it's too expensive for them to do this with a traditional agency. Basically, we collect data of, like, for example, let's say like a stick of cigarettes. How much is that being sold? How much is it being sold with this brand versus their competitors and stuff like that. And we collect this, by the way, from 10,800 stores nationwide each month. That's each month. And we're actually going to be doing 20,000 stores by the end of this year. So that's each month as well. So that's a really big data set. And so we're able to ensure that the data, for example, that collected is correct with our solution, right? Because we have the auto verification of people visiting these stores, of them purchasing cigarettes, we're able to ensure that the quality is correct. So that's number one. Number two, when we pass along this data, when we put them in the aggregate, we're really able to rely a lot on statistical law of large numbers, that certain numbers are correct. And this really helps them to keep track of their sales and their market share. And then compare that against the competitors and what they're doing, what promotions they're doing in the moment. And they're really able to launch all the promotion rate. But the key to understanding these metrics really rely on a lot of these organizations themselves. Because, for example, if we don't know what they're looking for, then basically we can't collect that data point for them. Marrying this with your own internal processes is still something that you need to do as a business owner. You can't fully rely on the consultant. What we can ensure is that you'll get the correct data. What you do with them, the solutions that you do with them, is something that you have to do yourselves. My guys are a market research technology company. We're not a strategy consultant. So Don't rely on us for the actual decision making, but we will provide you the recommendations as to what we think will happen, and that you should take notice of this because the data is as accurate as possible as it can make it.
We have one last question.
Sure, no problem.
No, I'll make this one really quick. I just wanted to ask a similar question that my CTO asked Sir Bong earlier. So, it all boils down to data. And the data that you collect and that you hold, before it's transmitted or given to your partners, these are very sensitive and important data. So, in other terms, are very lucrative for not just hacker groups, but even groups of corporate espionage, which is a thing apparently here. And it's very important for companies to have these data for them to have leverage over their competitors. So I wanted to ask, what steps is Agile taking? What measures or steps besides compliance do you guys do to ensure the safety of these data?
Okay, so I won't talk specifics about our firewall capabilities and the security because that's not my specialty. Again, I'm really coming from a sales and product perspective, and from a technological perspective. But I can talk about the practices that we do to ensure that people don't leak certain information. So I'm sure everybody here is aware of the Privacy Act, the fact that there are classified select data points that we call PII for private information. So every single data point that we share to our clients is completely anonymized. So to give you perspective as to what we share to our clients, so for example, sorry, your name is? Joseph. Joseph. So for example, Joseph, you are, I'd say, 32, 28, 24. All right, 24. You're 24 male and you live in Kansas City? Okay, so let's take Joseph for example, right? So in his particular case, what we do is we actually share to our clients that this person is hidden under a profile number. So we only share the profile number with our client. The profile number, this profile number is a person between the ages of 20 to 25 years old. They are living in Metro Manila, and they are, male. That is anonymous enough that people won't be able to connect the data points to a specific. So that is a practice that is standard in our industry, and that we're ensuring helps shield people from the data being shared with our clients. That's something that we don't share. We don't share these people's mobile number, their email. We completely follow the DPA, and in terms of like the tech developments that we have to, I can't share that because it will help, the greater security. But yeah, I can assure that it's there.
I may add, I thought lang din just now because of the question. At the end of the day, hindi rin naman mag-verify na anyone yung data, real accuracy. But at the end of the day, if that data works for their research, that's it. That's the value for them.
Right? Correct. So, I mean, companies. Okay, Sir Bosco, for my Codes&Tokens. So, Sir Bong, we kind of work in a similar fashion, I think, wherein, yes, companies like FMCGs do want to know, but they don't need to know the specifics, right? In your case, you act as a channel for them to be specific. But for research in particular, there's no need for specificity because as a marketer, you're not talking about, talking to a single person. You're talking to a group of persons. You just need to know what these group of persons are going to be doing in the next few years. So that is probably what I want to emphasize as a difference between our industries.
And actually, we have one last question for Sir Bon.
Yeah, I can't help it.
Super similar kasi.
Because my first job is in Procter & Gamble. I was in R&D, product development, and I worked very closely with consumer research and brand management. So, let me get my 3 cents. Okay. First for several items. So first for authentication is because we run a lot of consumer research already. Companies like you, they feel for, and then medyo maani sa amin kasi laundry. So we have to find lavanderas around the Philippines in certain areas. So do we know if the consumer research companies are getting the right panelists? It's medyo madali kasi labandera is labandera. But for some na ito ba talaga shampoo ginagamit ko, pwede pa ko ba talaga? Medyo mahirap. And then the question is, it's always a question up to now. Do we trust the consumer research company to say that they have authenticated valid panelists? The answer, we don't. Correct. Right. Now, do we want first-party data? Yes. That's why we created Codes&Tokens. Because for up to now, the consumer products companies do not own whether they need to have first-party data, it's our data, etc. Because the question within TNG is that we've always worked with intermediaries, whether it's a retailer or consumer research companies, and they don't have to control. TNG, I know, is lagi kasi nila kanila eh. Many of the companies are like that. So that's why we are offering medyo overlap tayo. So medyo parallel kasi what I'm trying to do is I'm telling PNG and maybe work, now you can own the data. And now you can go directly to the consumers, ask what you want to ask, offer what you want to offer, advertise to them directly. That's Codes&Tokens, right? So, and the strategy is to avoid the intermediaries, whether you're a retailer or social media platform, or something. So, now it goes to the FMCG to answer that question.
Correct. Ako naman, as a counterpoint, not as a direct pero ang thinking ko is that at the very least, in my opinion, it's too expensive for a single company to own. FMCGs maybe, like they could have the ability to do this at scale by themselves. But generally, most companies don't have the capacity to do this, to own their data points. It's much easier to go to, what we created is basically a marketplace for data. So it's also, so one of the things that I think I can share is that our platform really works the best. The more companies and the more users are active on the platform. So activity is really the way, because people forget things that they don't normally do, right? So activity is the way that we should measure the success of the platform.
Grabe no, actually I really like these functions. Kasi parang like the same, actually very similar, but at the end of the day, kumbaga, we try out different things. Really, different market possibly, different size. So, but anyway, with these discussions, I think for the networking data or for more results, I think you have to move on now. So thank you again now, from actually that's actually very malaman actually Fireside sharing. So thank you, Par. So
Ayan. Thank you so much, Sir Carl, for that fresh insights. Please accept our token of appreciation. Yun, sponsored by ECOMOVE. Maybe we'll just run for just a photo. Okay. Thank you, Sir Carl. And what you didn't know, guys, is that Sir Carl Chung is the co-founder and chief operating officer of Agile Data Solutions, a market research technology company based in the Philippines. The company specializes in providing consumer insights and market data to various sectors, including fast-moving consumer goods, telecommunications, banking, and startups. As COO, Sir Carl spearheads initiatives to digitize operational processes, focusing on creating a safe and secure data marketplace for consumers and clients, as well as ensuring the collection of verifiable real-world data through Hustle.ph, a mobile application that enables Filipinos to participate in market research tasks such as surveys, data collection, and mystery shopping in exchange for cash rewards. He has a keen interest in analyzing customer behavior patterns and market trends. Okay. So, yung nagustuhan ko lang doon sa talk kanina is that yung initiative to attend dance classes to make connections. Gusto ko rin yan. Actually, I'm planning to have one just for the sake of networking. Yun. Alright, so let's move forward to our third open mic. Our next speaker believes loyalty shouldn't be... Okay, again, our next speaker are on a mission to serve the MSMEs by providing the finest business management services. Let's have Sir Mark Alabang. He is the CEO and founder of Fast Business Consultancy. He has more than a decade of professional experience in finance, accounting, taxation, financial planning, and analysis, and public fiscal policy. He formerly held managerial positions in several multinational corporations such as Procter & Gamble and Kraft Foods. Before leaving FAST, he was a former presidential appointee as director for all the Department of Finance. So let's give it up to Sir Mark.
Yeah, thank you. I also believe in loyalty. And as much as I want to own the Alabang, I really thank you for that. And again, good afternoon, everyone. And feel free to move around. I can sense that medyo bumpy na rin ang afternoon. And first and foremost, I want to thank Jenny and Startup Podcast for inviting me for making this happen. Though we haven't formally introduced, I'm looking forward for our own catch-up later on. Basically, we are from Fast Business Consultancy. So in a nutshell, what we do is we provide comprehensive solutions for micro, small, medium enterprises. So initially, we started Fast as provider of accounting and tax services because we background also is CPA. But doing so, we realized that the MSME needs more than accounting and tax. They need help on various aspects of their businesses. And usually they want to deal on with an expert. Sila na yung usap, just one-stop shop, as we call it. They don't want to discuss with so many experts or so many subject matter experts. So that's why we evolve as a comprehensive firm. So it means that now we are a consulting firm. And similar to EC's Worstay and Agile, we are also a pandemic group. So we started around 2020. So we just celebrated our 5th-year anniversary last month. And it's not an easy task, actually. We started the company, our first services is about foundation or business compliance. So we help entity or entrepreneurs or pre-entrepreneurs to start up their business, to register their companies. Siguro yun ang experience na register their own company and how difficult it is. I can see sa DTI. Actually, DTI naman, hindi pa lang about the SEC. How about the SEC and DAR? Okay. We're gonna insist. Yung magaling sa LGU, ang dami ng biglang requirements. Diba yung address niya, eventually, di pa na pwede. Pero tungkol sa STC and BAR, pinayagan. Pagdating sa LGU, hindi na pwede ang dami na like this contract, clearance, etc. So that was also heard way back in 2020. And also that's one of the solutions that we created in past. So one of our major milestone for this year is our company launched the first end-to-end business registration platform. So, kung dati, ang bawat individual, kailangan pumunta sa SEC, then sa BAR, then LGU, then kung meron ka mga employee, to go to SSS, from European Health, so lahat yun. At minimum, you need to approach 6 agencies. And as we all know, dealing with our government, talagang test of character also. So, and sometimes the entrepreneur also needs to focus on what they're doing. So now it's no longer a problem for them because of the FSTR online solution. So if you want to know more, we have that platform. You can use our system to register. You just need to upload all your information on that platform, and everything will be handled by FAST team or to FSTR together with our experts at the back end. So it's a tech-enabled registration platform. So that's one of our first solutions that we just launched this year in partnership with our tech firm. So we are developing our technology in partnership with our CTO also. Hindi na namin siya kasama this afternoon. So those are the one things that we do to help entrepreneurs and pre-entrepreneurs to enter into the marketplace. And right now, also our firm is partnering with Zero. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that. Last week, last month, our team was in Singapore to attend Zero Road Summit. So basically, we are integrating our platform, accounting, recording, and reporting system into one. So, if you think mali pala kayo small company and you don't need accounting system, I'm telling you right now, it's the best time to invest on accounting system. It's as early as possible while your transactions are not that much. Because it's so hard to transition to accounting system kapag you already have several transactions. So it's better to respond alone. That's why fast we provide a very flexible package and also transition to accounting information system, which are cloud-based. So anywhere, everywhere you are, whether in the Philippines or in provinces or in abroad, so you can actually access that platform and you can make decisions for your business. And the advantage of that cloud-based technology, similar to the issues raised by from the discussion earlier, our system is very transparent. So the data, you can access the data anytime. You can download the data anytime you want, as long as you are connected with data or internet. So no problem with that. And so basically that's it, what we do. And we also have a business strategy platform. So we also have a Thrive or growth strategy. So after we do your business compliance, and we can also do performance management for our company. So that is part of my drill out this type of business. So we can help you do actual analysis and revenue projections, OPEX review, operating analysis. So we can help you determine what is your best price point for you, given your fixed and variable costs, what should be your break-even point. We can do this kind of analysis for you. And also, let's say if you plan to expand your business to, let's say you're in Metro Manila, you want to expand in Cebu or Davao or Northern Manila, Northern Philippines, or Luzon. So we can also make those kind of analysis for you and discuss the cost entails and what should be your target. So those things, we help So we are basically a fractional CFO for startup companies. That's also one thing that we offer. So yeah, so basically that's our company in a nutshell, and we are just here to help you guys, MSME, to grow from your compliance, from your timeline to growth strategy. And for some of our clients, we're also successful to secure funding for them. So we have a partner investment firm. And for smaller startup, I myself is also an investor. So basically we cater to that space also. We're starting to cater to that space as well. So yeah, well, that's the in a nutshell. So yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Or thank you again, Sir Johnny, and Sarah, for your opportunity. Thank you.
Alright, there you have it. Do you have, guys, any questions regarding with a fast business consultancy? Alright, we have here.
When it comes to like introducing your fast business consultancy. Now, I hope you did your assignment where you get to analyze your competitors. Since this one, I believe na may nagsabi na 1 year na daw or in the startup. Now, there's a lot of competitors, even in consultancy. What I see is the advantage here is it's not just about the registration, but meron na rin kayo acceleration, etc., strategy. I think that's the USP for me. But for you, how do you compete with those business registration companies or this hassle-free one-stop solution na meron lang sa inyo as fast business consultancy?
Sorry, what's your name again?
Jethro po, Jethro.
Jethro. Thank you, and yeah. The way I'm seeing it is actually in the Philippines, there's a lot of micro small entrepreneur players actually. There's like I forgot the numbers, but there's like millions of entrepreneurs. And as much as there are so many players out there, I guess we are aware. My team here is doing some market research. Actually, we know who are somehow are there. I wouldn't say they're a competitor, but other players in that space. But to be honest, right now I don't see them as a competition because napakalaking space kasi, and there's a lot of player that needs to be in to help the MSME. And I think right now, because there's a lot of companies out there, small, medium, large. So I think right, to be honest, there's a lot of clients out there, and it's for me, competition is a real issue right now. As a matter of fact, based on what I'm seeing, we need more players in the market to support the growing MSME segment. And right now, I'm also an advocate of MSME for us to have more equal opportunities for the Filipino entrepreneurs to grow and also to have a voice. Because right now, as we all, the majority of our GDP is driven by conglomerates, and we're thankful for them because we kind of paved way to have accelerate our economy. But I think right now, Philippines is now on the tipping point wherein MSME should be empowered so that there will be more players, new players in the market to have balance as well. That's why. That's also my personal advocacy why I decided to go into this space rather than continue serving multinational companies or big companies. So coming from that industry, I see that there's a need or underserved need na MSME. So that's why we need more players actually. But to answer your question, yeah, I think one of our advantages is that we have technology that we are putting in place. So right now, FSTR is a one-stop solution that yun yung nakita natin talaga na kasi nung nag-register din ako, wala akong makitang platform, lahat na nandun. So that's why we developed a platform wherein all agencies will be catered. So I think to answer your question. So thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. We also have another questions here.
Yun, Sir Mark. And Carl from Hier. You mentioned you also a fractional CFO. So you?
Yes, for that.
So you also handle outsourcing of your clients' payroll, and because how do you disperse their salaries?
Yes, we do. How we do it is we have a team also. So usually for the cash account, they're depending on the need of the client or depending on the maturity of the client's organization. So usually what we do in FAST, we do all the computation, the reporting, then they have an admin to execute the actual payment or online banking. So we help them to prepare the report, and their admin and the owner is the one to execute the actual payment in the online. So the way to do it, we have one client na do it voucher, like traditional way, but we implemented to transition to online. There's a lot of plans who offer sa online platform for payroll. Then just upload and OPT, then that's it. So they can disperse the payment, the payroll.
So meaning, Sir Mark, kayo na rin nag-handle ng disbursement yung salaries ng mga clients?
Yeah, first time we can handle those stuff. But right now, what we do really is more on the financial accounting reports and financial reporting. So that's one of our core expertise. We only do that for our clients that we're already handling the accounting system, because it's part of expanding our services for them. So yes.
Okay, thank you. Any more questions? Okay, if not, thank you so much, Sir Mark. Ablang, hindi na alabang. Next, okay, we've got a platform that's all about learning, connecting, and growing together. Whether you're an expert creator or just a curious learner, this one's for you. Please welcome Upskwela.
Wait, hinga lang ako. Hindi kasi ako sanay I'm not that guy. Hi everyone. I'm Roderick Algandara. I'm actually 7-year software engineer na in the tech industry. And I'm also a tech content creator, so mas kilala ako sa Boss Road kung tawagin. I've been doing content, programming related. So about Upskwela. So Upskwela is a platform actually. It's an all-in-one platform that you can build your brand, community, courses. You can handle your chats, discussion, calendar events, and courses inside in one platform. And at the same time, you can monetize it from day one. So that's the whole point of Upskwela. So before we talk about deeper about Upskwela is bakit ba nabuo si Upskwela and why my CTO and COO started building this startup. So to give you an idea, nasa Machine Burger kami, tatlo kami. Bili kami burger. Sabi namin, tagal na natin nagtatrabaho sa tech. And I think it's time na for us to at least try to do something na magbibigay tayo ng value and at the same time, nag-build din tayo ng business. Kasi we are inspired kung familiar kayo sa startup ng yung KINTAB, K-drama na startup. So we're inspired kasi tatlo rin sila doon, so tatlo rin kami. Sabi ko, I think kailangan natin humanap ng isang problem. And noong una nag-isip kami, gusto namin gawin namin na what if kung international? So kasi yung mindset kami ng nag-build ng startup is kumita. Diba? Yan yung parang kailangan kumita, kailangan yung mga katabi niya. Pero kami, iba yung inano namin, iba yung inisip namin, sabi namin, mag-set tayo ng isang problem dito sa Pinas, and let's see kung paano natin siya i-solve, and paano tayo makapag-bring ng value sa Pilipino. Sabi ko, stop natin, scope out natin, huwag tayo mag-international. Kasi kung international, sure, makagawa tayo na. Pero the competition is much harder. And dito sa Pinas, there's a lot of problems. Diba? I mean, we're late then when it comes to innovation. And that's why, 7 years na kami nag-work sa tech. Instead na kami ng build ng mga application, software sa ibang bansa, what if di ka naman sa Pinas? And kaya nabuhay sa Upskwela. So, pinaka-inspiration namin, the problems that we want to solve here in the Philippines, there's two things. So the first problem is we don't have a great platform when it comes to upskilling. Right? So let's say, for example, I want to learn something related to business. There's no platform, right? I want to learn something about programming. Meron, siguro, Udemy, pero it's international, diba? Ngayon, gusto ko ulit matuto ng marketing, pero ganyan. So, walang platform dito sa Pinas na pwede kang pumunta at mag-upskill. And kaya na sa Upskwela. So that's the first problem that we want to solve. And the second problem here in the Philippines is less yung opportunity natin. Especially sa mga professional experts. Kasi we believe here in the Philippines, maraming Pilipino na experts and professionals na deserving na magkaroon ng income based on their skills. So, yung dalawang bagay na yun, sabi ko, ito yung pinaka-problem na I think that we can solve and offer sa Filipino people. Now, sa Upskwela, since it's a startup, no? So it's bootstrap siya actually. And the main vision namin sa Upskwela is to gather all the experts, mentors, coaches, professionals, and mentors na, okay, let's gather in one space, let's gather in one platform, and if you have something to offer, if you have skills to offer, to teach Filipino people, and at the same time, you can earn money while teaching. So, yun yung binigay ng flexibility, the Upskwela for Filipino people. Kasi it's a win-win situation. So, just imagine, yung mga professional, they can earn from their skills. And on the other side, yung mga learners, meron na silang space para, kunyari ako, gusto ko matuto ng business, gusto ko matuto ng marketing, gusto ko matuto ng sales. Hahanap lang ako ng credible dun sa Upskwela na nag-o-offer siya ng mga courses or any other contents na related sa gusto kong i-upskill. So, ganun siya. And we open actually Upskwela for everyone. No? So, kasi pagka dito, karamihan sa lahat ng mga nakausap namin or sa karamihan ng mga nakausap namin community owners, ang pinaka-problema nila to handle their community is they have multiple platforms. So, for example, they have Facebook group to handle yung pinaka-community nila. They have other platform to host their courses. They have other platform to host their chats. They have other platform to host their events, and so on and so on. So, maraming operations, ang daming time na nasasayang sa operations. Rather than nagpo-focus sila sa mag-create ng mga quality contents and quality courses para dun sa mga learners nila. And kaya, dito sa platform na to, we build it in a way na since we're very familiar in the technicalities, no? Dito sa Pinas kasi parang gusto kong baguhin yung way natin ng thinking na pagkagawang Pinoy, wala yan, local yan, gawang Pinoy. Kasi pagka, meron tayong ganung pag-iisip na pagkagawa ng ibang bansa, maganda yan. Pagkagawa ng Pinoy, especially sa mga software, pangit yan, puro bugs and so on and so on. So we want to change that kind of mindset. And sorry, medyo na-excite ako kasi this is my first time actually to talk sa mga business owners and sa mga startup founders kasi I'm a tech guy talaga. So, yeah, and nakalimutan ako, may isa akong gustong sabihin. Nawala siya. Pero ano siya, yun niya, yung platform na to is like, we want na everyone parang bayanihan, kumbaga, na, okay, you have the skills, you have something to offer for other people. Okay, create your community in Upskwela, create your contents in Upskwela, and then just wait for the people na mag-trust sa'yo, mag-join sa'yo, and then that's it. You help fellow Filipino, and at the same time, you earn money. Kasi dito sa Pinas, it's hard to find job, right? Kahit na maghanap ka ng trabaho. Kunyari, professional ka or may skills ka, like, magaling ka sa ganitong bagay, pero you don't have much opportunity na kumita or at least magka-extra income. Kasi di ba, kaya makikita nyo karamihan is nag-apply sa ibang bansa, mga freelancings and so on and so on. Kasi nga, we don't have a platform and we don't have opportunity here in the Philippines. And this time, yung ginawa namin ng mga founders, it's actually a move or at least a mission for us to revolutionize the learning platform here in the Philippines. So, we want you to build your own brand, your own community, and at the same time, earn from day one. So it's free. You can create your community for free. You can earn for free. You just need to have skills. Kasi syempre, may magtatrust ba sa'yo na mag-join sa community mo or maging member ng community mo kung wala ka lang sa kanilang magandang i-offer? Diba? So what you need to do is to have a very or quality contents na pwede mong i-offer dun sa mga learners or possible learners mo. And that's it. You can learn. So that's the Upskwela. And hopefully we mag-succeed kami. Well, actually we don't like the word hopefully because we're gonna succeed. That's our in our mind na we're gonna succeed no matter what happened. The very goal of this Upskwela is to really help Filipino. Kasi I'm not a very political person, but in this kind of startup, I believe this is one of the things that I can give to fellow Filipino. Na okay, I'm gonna give you other opportunity as long as you have something to offer for your learners. And it's gonna be a win-win situation. And one last thing, the goal of this startup is maging go-to platform when it comes to upskilling. So I want to learn this, I want to learn this, okay, go to Upskwela and search that specific name, and that's it. So right now, we are in the mission to gather every experts. Kaya kami nag-show up dito sa stage, and hopefully mag-bring yung mga professionals and experts na may encourage kayo na kahit pumunta kayo sa Upskwela.com, so I can encourage you guys na take out your phone and just type Upskwela.com and you will see the existing community that is already created, and there are some courses, but still it's in a very early stage, but this is the most exciting part for us kasi ito na yung parang journey namin or start na ng journey namin kasi we're speaking up na or we're showing up na sa mga events to networks and find our markets, which is mentors, professional experts, and coaches, and also the learners. So, yeah.
Okay, there you have it. Thank you, Rodik, for sharing us about Upskwela. I believe this task form focuses more on upskilling, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Alright, and do we have any questions here? Ayan, we have.
Hi, Rod. Just really want to appreciate this is a good, relief from Filipinos. So my name is Gerald. I'm an HR recruiter, but my team is actually wanting to do like designing solutions. Pero we explore sa VA agency, but when I heard yung Filipino kind of yung goal natin. So, I can see this as somehow na makakatulong sa ginagawa namin. To also, actually, we do free coaching. We have community, we have VA community sa Facebook. So, have you ever encountered any staffing solutions or outsourcing network and saying it before? And I also wanted to know how long you've been doing this. So.
Yeah, that's a good question. So, July, nag-start kami ng beta. para lang makakuha kami ng feedback sa mga users and fix yung mga some bugs. And yung September, yun yung pinaka-launch namin. Okay, so you're ready na kasi naroon na tayo ng giveaways and stuff and so on. And this last month, yun yung time na nag-leads namin. I mean, nag-talk naman kami ng mga other people and may mga nakausap na kami na possible or actually mga potential clients na nag-start na mag-create ng community nila and so on. For an actual staffing na wala pa kaming ganun, pero meron kaming digital marketing yung ano yan. So parang nagtuturo sila ng digital marketing. So nagko-coach din sila agad ganyan. So yun yung ginawa ng community kasi ang problem nila is they have multiple platforms to handle yung batches. Okay, meron silang batches ganyan. Na batch 1, meron tayong 30 people. Batch 2, meron tayong 20 people. Ito ganyan. So, it's hard for them to, I mean, ang laki ng kinakain ng operation and admin staff sa kanila rather than na nakapag-focus lang sila sa pagka-coach or pag-invite ng mga members and so on. So, we're very early pa, pero yun, meron na kami mga ganong klaseng clients. Pero pagdating nga sa staffing, wala pa masyado. And, you know, I mean, we're actually very open for everyone na very interested or at least yung makakatulong sa ginagawa nila, sa mga community nila. Kasi we build everything for you. We build the hard part. You just need to focus on making quality contents. And one last thing, kasi we want to change yung parang bibili ka ng course and papanoorin mo siya mag-isa. What if in that actual community, nandun na yung course and then you can talk directly to the authors, to everyone, the members and so on. And that's a very different environment dito sa, at least sa Upskwela or dito sa platform sa Pinas na okay, meron ng ganitong platform na we can collaborate together, we can build together, and we can earn together. So, yeah, it's a...
Alright,
Thank you,
so much. Do we have follow-up questions? Wala na. Alright, thank you so much, Roderick, for sharing about Upskwela. And I'm just gonna share a few insights din, no? Ako kasi, actually, I graduated in entrepreneurship. So definitely, my skills focuses more on negotiation, skills marketing, but not really technical skills. So recently, I've been looking for platform for upskilling, like, halimbawa, I believe there's some tools kasi in automating lead generation, such as like that. So, I think I'm still grasping kung saan ako makahanap. I think Upskwela can help me. So, I'll search about it later after the event. So, yan. Alright, so thank you so much, Roderick. Now, let's go to our second Fireside chat. Kung dapat kayo mga kamay dyan. Alright, so time for our second Fireside chat. Another round of insights, stories, and golden nuggets from Hier Payroll. Let's have Mr. Carl Ellison Andrade, President and Chief Business Development Officer of Hier Business Solutions, Inc. With a decade navigating the payroll industry as a consultant for one of the country's largest outsourcing firms, Carl gained first-hand knowledge of the industry's deep-seated gaps and struggles. So again, let's have Mr. Carl Ellison.
Thank you. Hello. And so, Carl ulit, no? Sulit pala ang secret para kasi remember lang ako, actually si Agile Data at si Hier Payroll. Na-interview ko si Carl in a podcast. Pandemic times yun 2022? 2022. So, maybe almost not say pandemic. Pero na-amaze ako kasi they grew even more. But in yung time tayo, they were already parang, if I remember right, 20 employees. That side of yeah, so, maybe now, matutunan natin paano nag-grow, and nakabenta, and nakuha yung mga customers ng isang payroll company. But maybe this do the introduction first, Carla. So, maybe introduce yourself, then sa ating audience. And ano nga ba ang Hier Payroll?
Kanina dyan namin isang sa loob mo 2022 or like parang I think nasa nag-reach siya Taiwan. So, yun yung
today, meron ka lang na event. Yun, so by the way, again, I'm Carl Andrade, founder of Payroll. Kaya ako rin na-mention kayo na kay Sir Mark from past. All the fractional CFO, since we provide a fail to pay out digital solution. So I think we can discuss that later. So yun, so meron kasing way back 2016, again, I'm a field system consultant from the biggest payroll outsourcing company in the Philippines. So nakita akong two different problems, specifically on Philippine payroll. First is the HR side, or the payroll processor side, payroll department. The configuration of their payroll system na kailangan dumaan sa long software development lifecycle. So kailangan i-code yung product, yung base product, just to adapt on the specific requirements. So may additional investment, or kung hindi sila doon sa long software development lifecycle na yun, yung mga ma-automate the process, pero marami pa rin marami yung manual. Second problem is after the payroll processing is the disbursement. So sa Philippine payroll, ano nangyayari? Small, micro, small, medium enterprises or startups. Nire-require ng mga employers na kailangan na sa same bank yung mga employees nila. Kailangan mag-apply sa same bank account na ginagamit tayo. Pati nga yung branch minsan, usually pag yung branch kailangan yung sila mag-apply to automate na process. So nangyayari, nalilingit yung mga employees dun sa preferred payout type nila. So the employees gusto kaya Gcash yung disbursement, yung iba bayan. Yung iba sila gamitin yung existing bank account nila, like yung mga ganyan gamitin sa previous employer, like yung bank, BPI. So may tendency, nagkakaroon ng sobrang daming bank account yung mga employees. So yung two different problems na nakita namin. So 2017, I-resigned as a payroll system consultant from the outsourcing company and we established Hier. And for the question of how we acquired our first client, we acquired our first client in RB. So 2017, 2018, we crafted our go-to-market strategy. First is, kailangan payroll system industry sa Pilipinas, sobrang laki. Sobrang dami ng competition, dami ng large players, venture-backed competitors. So kailangan namin ma-craft yung go-to-market strategy namin. First is yung, what is the market we're going after? So after identifying who is the market we are going after, nagkaroon kami ng several meetings and purely organic siya, more on social media reach, kumali kami sa different HR and payroll groups, nagsisource mo. Meron kasi ng mga HRs, accountants, na nagsisource ng payroll system. They want to replace their existing payroll system. So, purely organic since we're a bootstrap company. Bootstrap company, sobrang limited ng resources. So, after the several meetings in 2018, wala akong pandemic eh. Hindi pa nakaka-adapt yung mga businesses sa online meetings. Yun nga yung isa yung sarili benefits ng pandemic eh. So, magkakaroon mga online meetings. Pero way back 2018, physical meetings, roughly 10 to 15 meetings a week kung nangyayari. So, purely physical siya. Then, unang meetings, naka-craft namin yung market na kailangan namin puntahan. Kailangan namin makapag-separate dun sa mga existing big players, like market segmentation, ano ba yung specific niche na kailangan namin puntahan para makuha namin yung first client natin. So purely organic, way back after roughly 5 months or 8 months, nagkaroon kami ng isang client. And good thing, yung isang client na yun, volunteers tayo, tsaka yung most loyal talent tayo. After this week, pinaril pa nila si Hier. So that's a 600 employee company. It's a manufacturing company in Caloocan. So, good thing that client, at least to sustain namin yung cash flow namin. Then, after that client, mas lumalita sa amin kung paano makaka-acquire ng future companies or future clients. Since craft na namin yung specific niche namin, yung position namin sa market, and ano yung competitive advantage namin compare other existing large players. And way back 2021, we hit a positive cash flow, and currently, higher payrolls are being used by 200 companies. We're actually 15,000 employees. 15,000? Yeah, 200,000 active paying companies. And way back December 2024, December last year, very happy changing over since we're a bootstrap company, no investor pressure. So we did the offer and continue our mission.
Wow. So that's how you grew up. First of all, yung product kanina, yung sa yung bank account yung mga Well, ako din, kasi parang, for example, even BPI, may saving account na limit, pero account ka. So, gumagamit yung mga bank account.
Exactly.
But anyway, I think it has to lang, kasi I know the business and personally, kasi I figured it na in the past. If I remember, tayo din mga ating podcast, kasi then I learned about your higher payroll. Kasi if you imagine, payroll, parang, lahat naman may ganyan, pero how do you penetrate a certain market? And if I remember correctly, ang ginawa natin title is the most configurable payroll system. So I think, tama ba, na yun din yung parang how you penetrated that niche back then.
Develop lang namin siya throughout yun nga yung go-to-market strategy namin. So, first year, first months, hindi pa namin alam kung ano ba yung brand messages namin gawin. So, through several meetings, nalaman namin na yun pala yung specific message na kailangan namin gawin. So, para makapag-set apart kami dun sa existing competitors, existing large players, venture-backed companies.
Yeah, exactly. Kasi payroll I mean, lahat may ganyan. And if you're gonna enter the ecosystem, which pie of the market and how. And if I remember correctly, since 2022 pa yun, by configurability ng payroll system, this is special for Philippine businesses. Kasi sa mga Philippine businesses, may mga tayo, may mga night shift, may mga multiplier sa akin.
Yun yung specific problem sa Philippine payroll. Sa Philippine payroll kasi, different companies, different industries, different requirements. Yun nga, may mga BPO na 24/7 operations, may mga manufacturing na more niche na, pero more on like yung mga HR, gusto nilang i-implement at kailangan kinakount off yung target ng mga employees. May mga construction firm na gusto nila mayroong minimum yung overtime ng mga employees. So kung gagawin ng mga HRs yun, manually, each start off, each payroll, so pages, which is routine, we're getting clients from large players. Yung routine, yung same reasons para sila pamilya to hire sa configurability. Ngayon lang namin na-craft yung payroll-to-payout digitalization since we just have a partnership with NextPay. So now, we are not just enabling payroll automation. We are now, we can now cater resource and science.
So that actually, if this is correct, payroll, one of the calculation ng intricate, specific computations, kasi iba mga multipliers, galas mga industries sa Pilipinas. Then now another value that they're providing is disbursement.
Yeah, mas malayo na kami doon sa competitors namin. Kasi nga, majority, I think majority of you knows Crowd Solutions. So, before the payroll to pay out, digital solution for higher payroll, somehow medyo malayo na kami, or meron na kami huge competitive advantage for that large player. Pero ngayon, mas sumaking competitive advantage namin through partnership with NextPay.
Saka still very amazing na 200 actually companies using it now. So, siguro may insights ka lang din on how from back then when you got your first customer, and then paano yung 200?
Yung first client namin, hard way siya na nakuha namin since nagkaroon ako ng several meetings, several rejections and good rejections, good meetings. Hindi namin kinakraft yung sales pitch namin, ano ba yung bad message and so on. And after that one client, since malaking client siya, isang employee company, at nagkaroon kami mas tinaking trust ng mga future clients namin after that closely.
Yeah, and the thing dito, parang as a startup, na-discover na yung hidden value sa mundo ng payroll, which is actually yung configurable. And once na-discover nyo, And once nabuo yung solution for that, marami pa lang ibang companies na may same specific problem. And since na-master na, or solve na yung na-master, pero like, nag-gain na yung expertise on that specific calculations. Kasi actually, I have insider, alam mo na, very accurate yung calculations ng Hier. Pag nagka-calculate na yung mga specific calculations sa payroll. So, parang ganun, since nabuo na yung system for that, and now, marami na companies na ganun din yung problem.
Kaya, wala yung factor sa Pilipinas na yung ginagamit na payroll system. So, meron silang investment to automate the process, pero marami pa rin narating dahil nga sa mga policies, requirements sila na hindi na susupport on that specific solutions.
And so, if I may ask them, meron na kalaki ang team mo.
Currently, we have 30 employees.
So, ang laki din part ng automation dito. Kasi 30 employees serving 200 companies. How important kapag nakapanating mag-play na role ng automation kung anong sistema ang ginagawa?
Yes. Majority ng employees namin ang website Dead and QA. Kasi nga, yun yung main reason na sa pagpatabi mo siya. Yun yung main reason bakit mas malaking website namin to automate the process. The marketing, the sales, the tech support.
So is this subscription style, like for a company who want to use a payroll system, subscription style siya?
Yeah, so Hier payroll is a subscription type payroll system. So kung some of you wants to automate the process of your payroll, disbursement of your employee salaries, so Hier payroll is just 200 pesos per active employee per month. Si Fast. So baka some of your clients gustong automate yung calculation, disbursement ng mga salaries ng employees nila. So we can talk about that.
And so yun pala, so bakit, of course, it's medyo natural for you to go to disbursement. Pero, why parang you would have stayed sa nakaraan, payroll calculations. Parang, aside from the partnership na with NextPay, parang, what was the push talaga for you to add another function or like feature sa yung product, which is yung payroll to pay out? Parang siya, buo na siya yun.
For the past 7 years, sa payroll calculation sa amin, kung yung nag-figure about payroll system, sobrang hindi siya yun para sa amin compared to other players. Pero habang ginagawa kasi namin yun, na-encounter pa rin namin yung mga concerns sa clients. This is our actual clients So this is our concerns nila, it's the silent disbursement. So through that comments, suggestions, naghanap kami ng pwede maging partner, kung Excite, kung Fintech, so makita naman si NextPay. Si NextPay na yung only Fintech company sa Pilipinas, sa kaya i-cater yung recovery sa iba. We try Dragon Pay, mag-try Payroll, pero yung delilimit, di ako may sobrang daming limitations compared to NextPay.
And so now pala, nagdadagdag nila itong payroll to pay out, yung disbursement part. So are you selling this to new companies or yung mga current companies na nag-a-avail ng payroll ninyo? Kung in-add ninyo itong feature?
Yes, currently, since this is an actual money, ang actual disbursement of employee salaries, we are trying to validate it first on our target clients. Smallest willing clients, we are early adopters. And through that, we are publishing the solution in Traffic 2026. We will be putting them the pay-to-pay out with the solution namin.
And also, back in 2022, I just realized, when you're like counting or like inaalam na nga yung like, how can you penetrate the market? Naging factor ba yung price? Kasi may mga like a payroll company na cheaper services, cheaper, or kumbaga yung possible aspects like price, maybe accuracy nga, or maybe availability, or maybe speed even. So, yun lang, parang I want to ask lang, nag-play ba yung pricing relative sa fact na ito na nakapasok sa market, or talaga yung configurability, yung complexity, yung tingin mo nag-owing sa inyo?
I think the factor din yung price So yung price model namin is just anchored on the market. So yung larger player, higher high to us, small player, other work to us, we work sa mga related.
So maybe, kinalite, dahil pa mas nila.
Meron mas mura, meron lang talaga mas mura.
But maybe value for money, like with that price, na-achieve mo na yung, kumbaga, nasa-solve yung specific problem for this company.
Kaya buti sa B2B. In the B2B market, you just have to gain the trust of the... Kailangan kasi kahit business siya kausap mo, meron kang human behind. So kailangan mo na mag-gain trust ang mga kausap mo, decision makers, and after that,
and speaking about that B2B, before tayo mag-open ang floor for questions, how important is retention and sa company ano ba, sa higher payroll company ba? Kumbaga you have maybe controls or maybe na culture na talaga mahalaga ang retention or like really keeping the relationship with your clients.
Sobrang importante ng retention since first, bukod dun sa cash flow, ang LTV ratio mo, sobrang lang yung effect sa cash flow kung pag sa industry. Sobrang laking effect sa cash flow. Kung sobrang taas kung sobrang baba ng retention rate sa clients, kung sobrang taas ng churn rate nyo, so bumababa yung runway mo, it's a booster company, sobrang laking factor yun. So yung company culture, sobrang laking factor yung company culture kung paano yung regain yung retention clients.
So, I mean, maybe it's too much if I ask yun. Parang kung saan yung mga client-facing na mga employees, yung client-facing people, hindi be important for them. I mean, I just want to ask, what made the retention? Paano na-retain? The tech pa talaga or maybe the human side of talking?
I think mas malaking factor yung human side. Yung tech side, as a tech startup, there is no perfect system talaga. Pero as a tech startup, sobrang dahil pang challenges na may encounter ng mga clients. May mga existing bugs, may mga features na biglang hindi mag-work or what. Pero kung paano na maintain ng team mo, yung relationship with the client, so yun yung mag-stay or yun yung magiging really qualitative at client.
So yeah, nalilis ko lang kung kanina rin Roderick of Upskwela was talking, isa tech kayo daw, di ba? Isa tech kayo, no? And then, now, ICO ba or CEO, no? So, you're not intended na Philip, if I remember. You're a tech person to begin with. And then, tama ba?
At least one level. I'm not name, I'm IT direction, pero basta ang focus ako sa service development.
Yeah, I mean, yun lang, so you have a tech power to begin with, but now you're leading the company. So, hindi ko mahirap yun na tech talagang skills mo, kasi naging business development ka, maybe president ka right now, ano. I mean, kasi leadership skills din yan, people skills din yan.
Sobrang hirap mag-pilot ng skills, tsaka ang interest mo, pero as a founder kasi, sobrang you have different hats to wear, so kailangan mo yung personality ka ng pilot. Pero nakita namin, business development yung need ng company ko. So, transfer ako from tech guy to business development. Push. So, kailangan tulong din pala naman way back 2021, nang nakapasok sa Yspaces. So, kailangan ka tutunan ng business development. So, after that, nakapasag-focus sa business development.
Actually, that's why I got connected to you pala, kasi Yspaces, share namin natin. Partner din ng Startup Podcast. So, yung mga startups sa Yspaces, after the program, ay ini-interview yung Startup Podcast. Kaya lang tayo na yun.
Nakatalahan ako na. From the Yspaces pa pa.
So anyway, thank you ulit, Carl, second Carl, for this, fireside chat. Let's open the floor for some Q&A. So baka meron siyang interested to ask some questions or maybe even ask, kasi interested kayo to work with them. So, ayun, the floor is now open for questions.
Hi, Mr. Farrell. So just wondering, I'm quite interested about the system, like the payroll system, because it's really a headache, is there a particular package or subscription wherein you will be improving, for example, mga statutory dependents at the same time, if the company offers HMO or any insurance in particular, is that something that, tumabol from your end?
Straightforward, higher payrolls, purely automation of timekeeping, payroll. When you say payroll, overtime employees, daily absences, excesses cleared pa yung money tax, up to disbursement of your employee salaries. Pero HMO side is a part of our business. Yeah.
Any more questions?
And just to add up, since I think you're in the startup industry or startup ecosystem, Hier Payroll has no minimum requirements. We just bill our clients 200 pesos per active employee regardless if you have 3 employees, 4 or 5. Our lowest employee, I think 6 employees, is automated payroll disbursement. So, yeah, very flexible. No minimum, no bracket or what.
Most configurable.
Yeah, to billing or who you can figure out.
Last question. Okay.
Hello po. Good afternoon, Sir Carl. I guess medyo ibang nature yung question ko since you mentioned na you're essentially a bootstrap startup and at this point, ganito na yung clientele nyo, you're quite stable now, serving a lot of different clients. I think that it's safe to say na you're quite a success story in terms of being a bootstrap startup. And I'm saying this as a venture scout, so a part of what I do is look for promising startups and try to connect them to leaders and investors. So obviously, medyo biased ako in the sense na I always perceive the positives of connecting founders na who are looking for funding to scale faster or to develop their product, to capture the market better or to penetrate better. And I think through the course of the various discussions we've had today, na-highlight rin nga ko yung I would say pros and cons, I guess, kanina kay Sir Carl from Agile. I think na-highlight din yung fact na having an investor to support the initial part of development from Agile. I think you mentioned it was a good thing. And also, Sir Mark, it's a discussion sa fast na. And also connected to investors and other sources of funding to better support other emerging MSMEs sa Philippines. So I guess it's a very nuanced topic, of course, but for me personally, maybe if you were offered to be acquired, maybe if career development you were approached by, say, maybe a venture something or the principal from a VC firm, how would you personally gauge or how would you decide if you want to sort of accept the offer or is it always another principle if you're somebody independent to have control over your business and how does the prospect of getting monetized or money and scaling faster parang balance on ever?
It's essentially natin last 2024 during acquisition offer of the larger competitor. First, sa financial side, meron kaming dinevelop ng financial model with the help of our partner, self-traction and SafeCode. Alam ko yung short kung pwede din discuss. Kaya din kong nasa dyan. So meron dinevelop si Traction and CFO sa amin na financial model. And yun na yung kailangan namin makuha ang offer to accept the offer from an investor or an exit or what. Pero as a founder, mas favor ako dun sa rejecting acquisition offers since as a founder, I have a vision. I want to maintain that vision. Ayoko po nung investor pressure, grow at any cost, and so on. Pero 2016, we're having a discussion if we will open or we will or we accept money from foundation capitals. Pero question, from what VC are you?
Actually, I represent at this point 3 VC firms. So, kasi ko some of the VC firms kasi very specific. Depending sa fund that they're raising, sometimes very specific yung kanilang investment thesis or the criteria that they're looking for.
Sa akin naman, if it's other people who start out na hindi lang siya basta of certain
investment criteria at risk score. So kaya I always try to expand my network, looking for different VC firms na looking for startups even in developing countries like the Philippines. Marami actually investor interest sa countries like the Philippines, or even countries sa South India, and emerging markets. So yeah, right now I sell for 3 venture firms, and then actually ang priority ko naman is to really support founders, and I hope din kung ano ba talaga yung mas importante for founders, like whether it's the control of the direction of the business or to speed up the scaling and gaining market share. And of course, mas realize ko din na VC na funding is just a tool, of course, to accelerate the success of
Thank you po. It's a gas to accelerate faster. Pero again, din na, wala kami pressure na baka mag-display sa visual market. Pero both way, I think it's a good day.
Let's open the floor to one more question. Meron po kung last question.
Hi Kyle, I'm John, Kasapatay. So, this quick one. I'm also doing bootstrapping and B2B sales. So, during your early days in your startup, what do you think yung since limited yung capital, no? What do you think yung most sa tingin mo na pwedeng gawin during early days ng startup? So, limited yung capital when doing B2B. Saan kaya for us as a bootstrapper, pwedeng i-align yung limited capital instead, kasi ang dami nangyayari at the same time. So, what do you think yung sa tingin mo yung mga founders is i-allow nila yung time and money kasi limited lang talaga yung capital?
Okay, so as a startup, you have to, I think any startup, you have to maintain your cash flow. So it's not about sa revenue, it's about how you spend your limited funding. Kami mas inubusan yung oras na time and effort through our go-to-market strategy. Go-to-market again, yung first is yung identifying who is the market we're going after. So yun kasi yung, I think, yung naging good strategy sa part namin. Bakit kami yung mga yung ganito, we have only 200 companies or 200 active companies for 50,000 active employees at the time system. Is maintaining our cash flow during first months and more on organic lahat, from marketing to meetings and crafting yung specific niche mo.
So, no paid marketing, so no...
Well, yeah, way back 2018, we don't pay any social media to do some marketing. More on legwork talaga siya. Kasi, I think, dagdag ko na. When you pay, for example, Facebook ads, kung meron kang large players like ourselves as Payroll solution, there's already Sprout na venture back. Magawa kami ng Facebook ads way back then, kakainin ng Sprout yung kaya sa saya. I think, para sa akin, yun yung stand ko dun sa paid ads marketing.
Thank you. Ayun, so thank you, Carla, doon sa lahat ng sharing.
Thank you, Jackie.
So, let's give a round of applause for Hier. Thank you.
Alright, there you have it. Sir Carl, thank you so much for the top accept our token of authorization from our project sponsors. So we're just gonna have our photo of, yes. Okay, Okay, thank you so much. Alright, so once again, I know it's been a long talk already, and just to freshen up, we encourage you guys to please have some foods over there. Siguro gutom na yung iba dyan sa pag-ginay ng ating mga interviews for this afternoon. And once again, we would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to our generous sponsors to make this event possible. We would like to give thanks to Agile Data Solutions, a fast business consultancy, ONEPHP Technology, Hier, Payroll, Edusuite, Easy Sourcing Group, ECOMOVE, and KINTAB. Please do like and follow their social media pages for more infos and of course to be updated to their services. Alright, so let's move on to our fifth. I believe this is our fifth open mic. Our next speaker wears many hats, literally and figuratively, a marketing pro, NLP practitioner, and now the GM of a brand that celebrates Filipino craftsmanship in style. Please welcome Ms. Valerie Fisher of Pinas, Sadya.
Hello. Hi, good morning. Good morning. Since I'm your sales person, it's always good morning because it's always the start of the day. Okay, my name is Valerie, and like she said, I wear many hats. I'm actually also presently building something like a small farm in Quezon. So like literally building. So today, pinapili ko kasi sila. Sabi ko, which of these things would you like me to speak about? And I think they chose Pinas Sadya. So if you have your phones, if you can check your Instagram, it's called Pinas Sadya. So Pinas is slang for Philippines. Sadya, who's Bisaya here? Bisaya, Sadya in Bisaya is joy. And Sadya in Tagalog is purpose. When you combine it together, it's custom or bespoke. So it's intentional joy, basically of Filipino product. So how did we start? The first question is, how did we start? Unlike some of our speakers, yung mga inabutan ko, they were saying they had to look for a market. They had to look for somebody they would serve. That's actually quite the opposite for us because we started with a solid insight. And it started from a breakfast. So I'm a corporate girl. My last corporate job was actually a CMO of a real estate company. So that's, parang if you're a marketing person, narating mo na ang rurok when you become a CMO. And so I'm like, what else can I do? I'm like, I don't want to be, president of a company I don't own. And so I'm like, okay, start this time of my life, I was getting married, I was looking for something more purposeful. And, one time I said, okay, I'm gonna just run. So I quit my corporate job already, so then said, I wanna go jogging. Posted a photo, and then a friend said, hey, I know at the end of the jogging trail, there's a restaurant. Let's have breakfast. And that breakfast actually turned out to be like a 5-hour thing. Inabot kami ng almost 5 ng hapon. And by 6 p.m., we already have a name, Pinas Sadya. How did it come? How did we come up with the insight? So I mentioned I was getting married, and my concept was pre-colonial Philippines, and it didn't exist. There's no wedding with a pre-colonial concept. Because it's always, when you say Filipiniana, it's always terno, it's always butterfly sleeves, it's always pinya, it's always all of those things. And I wanted to really go back to our roots, which is pre-colonial, which is Polynesian, way back before the Spaniards came, and there's nothing. So, and then I had to go to Davao, I had to go to the rivers, I had to go to really source authentic stuff. And my friend said, you know what, that's a very good concept. How come it doesn't exist? How come there is no platform for all of these things to come together? There's no aggregator. At that time, Cultura was just a store. You know, it was just over in SM. And they had no platform. They were not online. And so we started as an aggregator. We started as curator, aggregator of Filipino-made products. We sourced from 55 different provinces, 110 various suppliers, and we put them all online. And we had, that was I was the market. I was the one looking for the things that I needed. And I know that there's other people like me out there looking for, authentic Filipino products without having to go to Davao or to Baguio or to Batanes or wherever. And so that's how we started. That's how we started Sadya, September. So remember the date, September 13, 2018. But then the pandemic happened. And we were like, shit, we're not essentials. We're not essentials, how can we do this? And so, because we were not essentials, we had to pivot. I had to do my other thing, which is a marketing consultant, which is another story. I did training, coaching, etc. I was still in Sadya, but my partner, because there were two executives, and we could not pay for the both of us. So I had to kind of be not as active, and she continued. And then we pivoted into, kasi when it's an aggregator, consignment, you don't really earn from it, right? Because you can only sell it as much. So we had to pivot. We said, if we want to continue this, we had to earn. And so she started creating our own stuff, like our own clothes. We started with fashion. And then the insight there is, like I said, when you say Filipiniana, it's always events. It's always butterfly sleeves. It is expensive. But it's only expensive because you only wear it once. But when you wear it all the time, like what I'm wearing now, you don't really say it's Filipiniana, but it is. I can even tell you the reason we use in this piece. We call it a pulmonia jacket because pulmonia is what you get when you wear it. If you understand. Okay, so we had to pivot, and we realized there's really a huge market for it. It's basically, again, us. Like, women who want to wear Filipiniana, we want to wear it more often, and we don't want to spend as much. So, basically, the way that we found our customers is through people like us. So I think it's something as a marketing consultant, people will follow you as you are, so you just really have to be authentic. So our first customers, how did we find our first customers? On Instagram, we found our first one. Glorious Diaz. If you follow Glorious Diaz on Instagram, siya yung unang bumili ng hat namin. Tapos on Instagram, on the website, our first customer was somebody who bought medyo mahal to, but again, you have to wear it many, many times. At 24,000 peso coat. At that time, with local. So the brand was local because we're an aggregator. So two different clients, but what they have in common is they're both Capoeira. They want to be extra. They want to be something extra and something special. They want to stand out. And I guess that's the main thing that we have. So we have our campaign right now, Capoeira with a Purpose. So where we just went. Where we're going and where we just came from. 7 weeks ago, we were at New York Fashion Week with a whole collection that we call Capoeira with a Purpose. Capoeira, we have Capoeira means somebody wants to stand out, somebody wants to shine in their authenticity, because that's how we were. That's how we started the business. It just came from our own insights, our own needs, and we knew that we were not alone. And with a purpose, because we want everybody to realize realize that we all have purpose, we're all kabuderas, it's our birthright, and when you go through finding your purpose, we'll be here for you. In whatever stage in your life, whether you can afford like a 4,500 poncho or a 32,500 New York Fashion Week set, we're there with you. And also because, you know, pag sinasabi kasi like the professionals, the corporate ones, medyo ano sila, parang it's very tame. Diba yung mga ganyan, yung mga ganyan klaseng tao, parang when you say a person like an activist or a philanthropist, ganyan, when they go out to the world, parang they're expected to just wear something normal. You don't have to, especially when you have a purpose. You have to stand out in your purpose. And that's what we want people to really feel like. And so that's where we are, where we're going. We went back to New York after Fashion Week because we realized there's such a huge market for Filipino-made products, but only when it looks global. Like what I'm wearing, this is according to them, very New York. So we were invited to a 3-day festival, it's a cultural festival, organized by Mrs. Lloyd and Nicholas Lewis. Who knows Lloyd and Nicholas Lewis? So yeah, we met with her. She said, get my number. She said, get my number. Okay, but ma'am, we're in tomorrow, so we're in New York for 5 weeks for this time. And we found the Sadya. So Pinas Sadya is now actually available in New York. That's our biggest win from that trip, as well as meeting all of the New York American social people who bought our products. Okay, and what we need, I think this is something that brands who are scaling really need. We need people who will grow with us, because we realized that the people we hired early this year couldn't keep up. And even us, if the brand is growing bigger than what we imagined, and so fast. So parang, check kasalanan natin na we didn't hire with a vision. We hired for the moment. And startups, I think, when you have a vision, when you want your brand to go somewhere, you hire with a vision. And that's where we made a mistake. And that's something that we need to address very, very soon. Because, oh my God, we don't have the right people. I cry. And systems and processes that will help us. Because again, we're scaling so much faster than what we imagined. And that's me. As a marketing consultant, even when I was in Sadya, I was still there because I was guiding my business partners either where to go, what to spend on, like whether to do this or to do this or to not do that. So there, and I'm also applying whatever I know as a trainer, as a consultant, as a coach for Pinas. So find us, we're at the Motivation, the ground floor. Super ganda ng location namin. All thanks to networking and my previous life. It's huge space beside Wildflower in front of the main mall activity area. We're also at the Manila Peninsula, room 254. Lobbying.
Alright, there you have it. Thank you so much, Miss Valerie. Does anyone here in the room have questions? Alright, if none, we'll proceed. Alright. Hi, you mentioned that you have operational and system challenges na nag-grow na kayo lalo. May I ask what are those challenges?
When we hired this year, we didn't know we were gonna have a bigger store. So we didn't hire a sales operations person. We hired a sales associate who we thought we could grow as a sales operation person, as an events person. So we were pushing and forcing people to grow into their spaces when there's really not room for them to grow. It's really that. We said, okay, let's hire somebody for like online, because we're still present online on Instagram. Because it's a different business unit altogether. There's a person online, there's a person for the store, and then the person online you had to put into Manila Pen because who are we gonna put in Manila Pen as a store? another, parang, hindi naman sa tinitipid, but it just makes sense. Because the person online, her stocks are at the pen, so the pen and online will share. But she's not really the best in customer service. You know what I mean? Kasi online siya eh. Parang the skills are different. So it's the mismatch in the hiring, which we completely, parang how do I say na it's really us. Kasi hindi namin na-imagine mag-New Year Fashion Week kami, hindi namin na-imagine na mag-gumawa store kami, hindi namin na-imagine na mag-stocks kami doon. Hindi namin na-imagine na ganito kabilis. So, that's why there's that mistake.
Hi, I'm not gonna stand up. So hi, it's really inspiring like hear from how you guys started and up to how you operate at the moment. So just wondering, it's quite like it sounds like an empowerment for me. And what is Pinas Sadya current vision in the coming like 2026?
Ay, isa pa yan. Exciting. Again, we need to hire the right people. Because when we started in 2018, we had a 3-year goal. We had a 3-year plan, a 5-year plan, and a 10-year plan. But of course, the pandemic happens, parang not counted between 2020 to 2022. So technically, parang 3 years lang kami. Pero 2018 is when we started. We want to grow more than clothes. So in the Philippines, we're growing clothes, lifestyle, home. And abroad, we're starting to grow the clothes brand. But here in the Philippines, we want to grow into Pinas Sadya experiences. So more than, because remember our DNA is joy and pride. So anything that gives you joy and pride as a Filipino, we started with items, home, lighting, rugs, whatever, and then clothes, joy, something that gives you joy, like what I'm wearing, and pride because I feel beautiful when I wear this. And I feel proud to be a Filipino. So what else gives you joy and pride as Filipino? Experiences. Like example, we're gonna take, people to, I don't know if you know this, but Patistisor is a very, very beautiful space in San Pablo. Patistisor is the branding Philippine fashion. But she also has like a beautiful house, a garden, and she serves really good food. Ugubigyan has a beautiful place in Quezon. It's a pottery garden. I bet you didn't even know that, right? So that's why we want to take people with us who have the joy and pride into being Filipino, and even just knowing that there's places like that exist. And that's where we're going, at least in the Philippines, and more experiences. So which means that we need the right people.
Alright. Any more questions? Okay, if not, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much. Thanks, Valerie. Ang question ko, is the top that you're wearing in the earrings are products from Pinas Sadya?
This is from New York. This top is from Pinas Sadya. So this is what you call, this is the Kundiman weave of Abra. This is the Pinapolo of Abra. And at the back is ang ibig sabihin ay rice fields from Abra also. And ito naman, this is metallic cablon of Iloilo. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm from Iloilo actually, and I'm very familiar of those. So it's nice to see a different culture in one piece.
Yes.
So I hope Miss Valerie, sana next time ang hosting team so dito sa Startup Podcast, I'll be wearing Pinas Sadya. Baka naman.
O diba? May alam siya. May plan din siya.
Thank you. Alright, there you have it. And I believe the last but not the least, our next speaker will be our partner in education and also one of our generous sponsors who had been supporting the Startup Podcast during the early days. Let's have Cyril of Edusuite, an all-in-one school management system for K-12 colleges and higher education institutions. It simplifies and automates daily administrative tasks from enrollment and scheduling to grading and reporting of educators. So educators can focus on what matters most, their students. So there you have it. Let's have Sadya.
Thank you. So this will be a little bit comprehensive because I was just asked to give a talk 1 hour ago when I came in the door. Yeah, a bit of background about what Edusuite is. I bet none of you here are my customers. We're a school management system, so we're a B2B. Our clients are schools. We've been around since 2017 was when we incorporated our companies. 2018 is when we started our first product. So that was 7 years ago. Nagpirmahan kami na coffee shop ng SEC documents. And, yeah, 7 years later, and we're now in around 40 plus schools around the Philippines. So, how long do I have for this talk? 10 minutes, 10 months. Yeah, so magkwento daw ako how I got my first few customers for Edusuite. Siguro sa bonus I can also talk about first few investors namin who invested their money into the company. So, I'm a tech guy. Computer science was my course. So naturally, hindi ako magaling mag-benta. I'm good at designing products, I'm good at coding, I'm not really good in selling what I created. Then for Edusuite, it was medyo a little bit of nandaya ako. Kasi yung very first customer ko is actually, Edusuite by the way is my 4th business already. So the very first customer of my 4th business is my 3rd business, which was a school. So I was similar to Valerie, who were solving our own problems. I was running a school when we were evaluating software that was used to run the school out there. Medyo bulok. For a lot of you who enrolled in your own school using your online systems, you know what I'm talking about. A lot of the school systems that you use are not actually that good. Like crashes, and that was, we evaluated I think 5 different systems when we were doing it. Tapos sabi ko, sige ako na lang, my second business was actually a tech business, developing my own software. And then that's how Edusuite was born. So, syempre, when your first customer is yourself, that's good for a lot of things, di ba? Sabi ni Upskwela, di ba? Parang pag local software, maraming bugs. So, okay man, kasi maraming bugs, nire-release namin sa other business ko. So, hindi sila masyadong pwede magreklamo. Binibeta-test namin yun, sarili namin yung bugs din sa yung mga bagay namin features to my own business as well. Pero syempre, that doesn't make you a credible business, di ba? Na sarili mong customers your own. So, we had 3 first customers that we got in our first year. So, one is a school in Batangas. It's a low tuition fee school, Batangas Eastern College. And the 3rd customer we got is University of Asia and the Pacific. So, parang, meron kami university customer. So, actually, related yun, yung school in Batangas. It was actually a very, very hard project that we started. And since desperate kami for customers, we did what we need to do. Sila desperate din sila to have a system. Pero they didn't come from any traditional system. Wala silang, they literally came from Excel and printouts. So when we were encoding their entire database history, we literally had to go, and time na yun, medyo bago-bago pa yung data privacy act. Kailangan namin pumunta talaga doon and encode their grades and their past history from printed out pieces of paper. And yung namin, I had a project manager na pumunta siyang Laia para mag-encode ng mga grades ng mga dati ng estudyante. Tapos nag-uuwian siya. Umuwi siya ng Cavite. She didn't stay there, or we offered to pay for everything while she's there kasi kailangan may magpakain na asin sa bahay. So, yun yung kaya siya kailangan buhay. So that was hard. Tapos, fortunately, one of the board members ng school na yun was actually employed as an IT manager for University of Asia and the Pacific. So by the way, Batangas Eastern College, they recently got them as a customer and desperate sila. Because they were friends with the president, they were classmates with the president of the school that I am also part of. No? So since friends sila, oy, Sina, subukan mo na to. Yeah, so that was, yung parang our own network. Doon lang sila rin kapilitan. Sige na, subukan mo na ito, parang even though it's a new product, ano pa rin siya, parang it's gonna, we sell it on the vision of where the product is gonna be, di ba? Tapos the board member naman, connection, the board member of that school was also an IT manager of another school of a university. That's why they were able to get into University of Asia in the Pacific. Pero long story, it didn't go out so well with our third customer. When I say na hindi ako magaling na salesman as a tech founder, if a school asks me, if a customer asks me, do you have feature X and Y and Z? Sabi ko, wala. Ganun lang, very honest, di ba? I don't oversell my product as opposed to a lot of siguro competitors namin na, parating na yan, or yung feature na yan, dadating na. Okay na, parang I'm not like that. I really say na, ito talaga yung nagkakaroon ng product namin. We have to focus on where we are, we're honest with them, and that way, parang hindi masisira yung reputation sa market because the industry is very small, really yung reputation mo is one thing that you need to take care of. So yeah, as a bonus, once we got our first university customer, that's when we raised our first round of funding as well. So even though hindi siya part ng topic natin, I'll talk about how we got yung first round of funding now. We have a VC guy dito. Naghanap na bibigyan ng pera. So first round of funding namin, what we did was, actually I was looking at VCs at the start. Saan ba ako pwede mag-base ng pera? Saan pwede kumuha ng angel investors? I have 3 customers na, pwede na siguro may proof of concept na ako. Ang nangyari was that parang I talked to a friend, I was consulting around and parang one of my friends brought up, I think naging part siya ng startup ecosystem na. Sabi, why don't you raise money with your potential customers? So naisip ko ako itong mga schools, these owners of these schools, they come from, most schools na third generation na yan, mga lola pa rin yung start ng school na yan. These come from rich families and they have excess cash flow. Then they can actually put into other businesses. So my pitch to them was, hindi na kayo magiging customer, if you invest in our business, you become invested in the long-term growth of our business. So, during my first round of funding, like 2018, we raised money from 3 schools as well that invested into the business. So, what happened was that, and we had to get another investor, a third-party investor. So, we reached and tapped into Manila Angel Investors Network, if you guys know what I mean, for them to be pegging a valuation into our business. And if you know about systems now, it's very, very expensive to create, as a software, with hosting, with hindi mo naman makakapitalize ang software, it's all OPEX. So OPEX, lugi ka talaga at the start kasi ang laki ng cost ng developers, 6-digit salaries. And then you have to recoup that along the way, and you're spending that amount at the start. So I think parang from our initial pinamahan sa coffee shop where us as investors put in our money, we raised mga 4M that day when we incorporated. We got another 5M from the OST, yung grants na binibigay nila. So we got kasama kami sa first batch na humingi ng pera sa kanila. And then after that, when we raised money from the 3 other schools and Manila Angel Investors Network, we got another 12M. So I guess that was enough to kickstart yung roadmap, yung roadmap namin, runway to get it to the point na profitable again. And parang what happened was that yung University of Asia and the Pacific, that project didn't really go well, pero buti na lang nangyari siya after our fundraising na hindi it didn't go well, so the project got terminated. I think at both sides we weren't ready at that point because nung time na yun, our software was very new and the expectations nila, parang may mismatch in expectations. Asked our software to communicate with their software on top of what you're already doing. So, that's like another project in itself that we weren't able to accomplish. Pero it all ended in good terms kasi like 7 years later, when they tried to, 7 years later, they got in touch with us again. We tried another software, pangit din, pumalpak. can we try your software again? Siyempre, that's a shortcut version. May mga evaluation phase pa yun na nangyayari. So we connected with them again, and we just launched a couple of months ago with University of Asian Pacific and a couple of other universities. So we're now in FEU, Ateneo de Manila as well. That's a story for another time. Thanks. Yun lang. Thank you.
So, check. Alright. Thank you so much, Sir Neil. So, do you have, guys, any questions? There at the back.
Congrats first on your business. My question is, I'm just curious, so these investors that invested in your business, what do they get any perks, or what do they receive in the end? And second question is, how do you ask grant from the OST? What are the requirements?
I'm not sure if the requirements, let's answer your second question first kasi that's the easier one. Sa DOST, it's actually, it might be different now, yung grant, the requirements they have now, because during the time that we requested the grant, that was, I think, 7 years ago, they were framing it as a research. So in our case, it's AI, kasi one of our USPs was using AI to do the schedule for the school, to advise students, to optimize the entire operations. And our premise was that in prototype that we did for our own school, we're commercializing. So parang scaling a startup was the part of the grant. And actually no strings attached siya, aside from the fact that sa katulad yung reporting requirements. So you need to submit papers every quarter and whatnot to tell them what they did with their money. So yun yung sa DOST. They have their own selection process, so I think like 50 companies na kami napili na pinanat ng time na yun. With regards to the investors, I think medyo naman yun, straight up equity lang siya. The first few investors we got, the schools, meron pa kami promo. So invest in our company, you get X number amount of usage or credits to use our software, which they use up in maybe like 1 or 2 years. Tapos after that, they have to pay the usual. So kuha ka lang ng investor, di ba? Nakakuha ka ng customer. Kasi after the 3rd year, magbabayad din sila to use your software as well. And syempre, hindi na sila lilipat kasi this is a company they also co-own. So that's one of the that's how we did the investment part.
Sir, follow-up question. So, sir, so the investment money, parang how exactly did you use that? And parang ilang percentage you like for product development, maybe on tech side, and yung sales part? Kasi from 3 schools now to 40 schools, so parang how did you use that money, that investment money?
We basically use that money to fund yung lugi na. Alam naman yun, di ba? Well, if you're a startup, if you're a tech company, one of the advantages is, wala kang cost of goods, wala kang inventory. So basically, you're a scalable business, meaning na you don't need to scale at the start. Although, ang disadvantage niya is very high yung operating cost mo at the start. So, sabihin natin yung cost mo pa ganun, di ba? Yung kita mo pa ganun. Diba? So it took us 7 years actually before. Last year was our first fiscal year na in the black kami. So 7 years nung lugi kami. And initially the lugi, like lugi na 10 million a year or something. So it took a while. It took a while for us to reach that break-even point. So basically lahat ng rounds of funding namin was used to fund yung development of our products while we're getting enough customers to scale. Kasi sa amin, we computed our break-even cost pag 50,000 yung students ng system, which was actually wrong. Parang I think it was siguro mga 60,000-70,000 before we break-even. So now we're at the point na 90,000 yung students na. So medyo na kami. Kumikita na yun. Kumikita na yun.
Okay, so thank you so much, Sir Neil. Meron pa.
That's the Sorry, last question.
Do you see
software being used in other ASEAN countries or currently sa Pinas lang po? Thank you.
Actually, when we started the company, kung tingnan niyo yung website namin, Edusuite.in siya, yung domain na kinuha namin. Mission sa office, sige. Gawin natin sa Pilipinas, kwenta natin sa Indonesia, kasi mas malaki education industry sa Indonesia, di ba? So, .Asia, hindi .ph yung kinuha namin. Kasi ang sura ng .Asia. So, when we started, akala namin medyo madali. Pero it turns out, doing a school management system is both the advantage of that. I guess the disadvantage of that is number one, it has to be very custom to your country. Like for example, yung reports that are generated are reports that have to comply with CHED, reports that have to comply with EdEd, and marami mga local workflows that specific to the Philippines, wala sa ibang bansa. May mga transmutation para kinapigti ka, 75 yung itsura, yung mga gano'n, di ba, na Pilipinas very specific. So that's a disadvantage. Now we have to do a lot of work kasi we tried attending mga Indonesian events to see if we can sell our software then. Tapos nakita namin hindi pala siya fit. But at the same time, there can also be an advantage na it's not easy for foreign companies to just go into the Philippines and sell their software kasi they need to do a lot of customizations in order to make it fit the Philippine market. So, I think, although now ang nag-effort talaga na pumasok sa Pilipinas are the Indian companies. So marami kami mga kalaban ng Indian software sa Philippines. Pero right now, we're focusing on the Philippines. We're at 2% pa ng market share, di ba? Parang gusto namin palaki ng 10%. 2% hindi ko binibilang yung government schools kasi alam natin maraming funny business sa government. So we're focusing on private schools. Ayaw kong stress sa buhay na.
Okay, any more questions? Okay, thank you so much, Sir Neil, for sharing Edusuite. And it is indeed best conversation so far that is worth posting on LinkedIn. Okay, for our last fireside chat, okay? For our third fireside chat is the managing partner of Yspaces, our sponsor for co-working space today, a premier provider of flexible office, co-working, and virtual office solutions in the Philippines. Let's have Sir Robin Palaria, with expertise is uniquely rooted in over 13 years of experience in company incorporation and in flexible workspace solution. Sir Robin oversees Yspaces operational strategy and market positioning, making sure the facilities and services satisfy the high standards demand by both domestic startups and international businesses. So let's have Sir Robin.
Ayan. So, first of all, thank you sa lahat na nandito pa. Medyo gumidilin na. Pero itong ating last fireside chat ay actually very exciting. Si Sir Rob, managing director where we are now. So, Yspaces ang partner co-working and event space ng Startup Meetups. So, thank you din, Sir Rob. And hopefully, this chat, ma-unravel natin because Sir Rob, actually, yung parang pinaka-origin nito is know your business and then now know your space, which is Yspaces. So before that, Sir, maybe you can tell more broadly lang din ano ba talaga ang Yspaces and really know your business.
Okay, thank you, Johnny, for the introduction stuff. So, know your business is actually a consulting firm focuses on helping the startup entrepreneurs and businesses, so both locals and international. But I don't want to focus more on the know your business, but how Yspaces starts. So we check kasi and we have experience working in our home, in our rooms, and even in coffee shops. So we expand the business not just for the registering the business and compliances, but we expand the business by providing the flexible solutions. No? So by having yung ating business address and then the locations for launching your business, specifically and strategically located in Bonifacio Global City.
And if you haven't taken a look so around us dyan, may another unit out there, yung office space mismo. Know your space and Yspaces. Sir, ano ba exactly, or like, sino yung target din? Kasi yung international clients and even local. So parang meron pa kayong targeting na ginagawa dito or parang sino yung best type of businesses that can really take advantage of even space na, and even yung virtual office, and even yung sa compliance.
Yes, actually it's more on the startup communities because it's a cost-effective way when you register the business now. So with using the address itself now, so it's not like you can construct and then having the space, but all of a sudden yung mga expenses mo is manatin. But ito, yung target ni your space or the Yspaces is to get the business address for the startups to have the cost-effective way to register the business. No? So, of course, medyo mahirap mag-business sa Pilipinas. No? So, we need a cost-effective way. Let's say, for example, they're getting the virtual office or an address for 2 years. No? So, it will be a cost-effective way na to run your business for 2 years, or even if you plan to renew it for another 2 years. No?
Pwede rin yung startup advocate din pala, official office address, and it comes to Yspaces.
Yes.
But sir, so it gives legitimacy then type. Parang for international companies that want to expand in the Philippines, it gives them first where you have a base, right? And also for businesses naman here in the Philippines, it also somehow gives this legitimacy for the virtual office cases. Parang I'm just curious lang, sir, aside from the cost-effective, so this is cost-effective, parang ano talaga yung value that virtual office addresses, that even if they get an office space here for them?
Okay, so most especially if it's an international company or a business running to expand in the Philippines. Of course, those startup foreign companies is not having the office spaces, the professional space for their employees. So they're outsourcing the employees as they get in the Philippines. So they first need the address to register the company, and then all of a sudden they upgraded to other services such as private office content.
And now, sir, pag-usapan naman natin how you got your first customer sa Yspaces. So, palamig sila yung service, yung virtual office, din yung actual office space, and even yung mga members ng powerful space. And I believe yung dyan din ang sales team din yun. So, ayun sir, how did you get your first customer?
Okay, first customer is actually came from a referral. So, siguro the personal customer na sabihin ko is a client since 2024. So when we get that customer is, even now is still our clients. So because compliances, the address itself is keeps evolving, so it needs to be updated from time to time. So kailangan natin i-update yung mga services. So until now is time pa rin natin sila.
So ito pala siya, parang know your business, so let's say parang compliance, virtual office. So yung compliance ka there, parang you also being added value for them to have an actual space.
Yes.
And you also say you have the sales team. So ano yung parang strategy for the sales team then to accelerate getting customers?
Okay. What I'm always telling to the team or the sales department is to provide the value first. So what are the problems that we are solving, which is the cost-effective way, and number 2 is yung having the professional image, no? Because if you had registering your business at your home address, it provides other clients like asa ba yung business na ito, bakit hindi ko sa search na? Unlike when your client search you like a Park Triangle or Great Plaza. So it gives a client peace of mind and okay ito. So they're serious about their business and they are really registered in the business district of Metro Manila.
Actually, yes, even the startup podcast, ang register niya ay Bulacan. But now, dito na kami sa VECs. Anyway, tama ba, sir? Correct me if I'm wrong. Kasi itong event space where we are right now is actually medyo bago. Kailan na sir nag-start?
Actually, the event space only opened last August. It's only like 3 months ago. So, Yspaces started actually not intention to really put up the office space or a virtual office, but it happens because the client needs. And then, last 2 years ago, we were just working in like any available coffee table or coffee shops or even nasa may SMR yung co-working shop doon. So, ginagamit namin siya. But tingnan, ito namin yung leads sa sinuply. And for the first year, so we've been here for more than a year na rin. And then for the first year kasi we opened the first unit there.
Office space na.
Office space siya for a private office. Because other times na meron kami is nag-upgrade from the virtual office to a private office. And then now is we want to cater those startup companies na not just to meet the clients outside or in a coffee shop or in a restaurant or hotel, but they can, even if they're startup companies, they can launch their business here in our event space.
Parang galing pala, kasi hindi siya blind guess kung gumawa kayo ng co-working space or event space, and saka kayo kakanap ng customers. Of course, makahanap na rin yung customers. But since nagaling siya sa natural demand ng mga current guys, so parang evolution lang siya ng services kasi provide for example. Starting na sa your business, registration, and compliance, and then bibili nila ng address sa Pinas or international ones or sa BGC. Virtual office, and we need to actual physical space for meetings or for their employees here in Metro Manila.
Yes.
So kaya may office space. Actually, kung taka ba sir, parang full book na ba or may open ba na?
90% occupied yung office space natin. So we still have 2 available in office, but we are receiving a lot of caterers.
Okay, so office space. And then now, parang nag-tutoring po kayo mga unit dito sa so office space and then we have this co-working and event space for you. So, may parang evolution na.
Yes, actually, to give you a little bit background on this, aside from wala kaming office kasi before, but we are collaborating with different providers. So, most provider is within Metro Manila and Metro Davao, because other clients kasi want to register naman ay Makati or in BGC. But we have different locations like in Ortigas, in San Juan, Quezon City, and Cebu. Those partners that we have is we collaborate with them. Not really to compete, but to give them a client. It's a win-win solution sa sector na pinimigay.
So, you have your own na rin.
Yes.
Ayun, I think that's a good story kung paano nabit si Yspaces. Actually, why we are here right now. So baka meron kayong, baka you want to be a member ng working space between actually, Startup Meetups actually yung podcast na ginagawa in person ay dyan lang sa Upskwela. And then ito ay event space na. So baka meron interested kayo kung ano yung Hier dito sa Yspaces. Siguro yes, let's open the floor for any questions kung paano, maybe you want to ask for, baka meron interest like ng seminar, or maybe to learn from serial story, or maybe ask about their services. So, ayun. The floor is now open for questions.
Okay, do we have any questions from the body? Ayan.
So for the virtual office tool, sir, that's good for any type of company that, for example, we're trying to register, right?
Yes, we don't have any restrictions with the virtual office. Even if you are a freelancer, even if you're working alone, and even if you register a sole proprietorship official corporation, and even a foreign company. So we keep those steps.
That was actually a question from yung kasama ko. I'll read it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, any more questions?
Kaya nga question pala. Meron ba kayo parang ano din, kasi in Manila, parang so parang do you have like a special culture maybe or special niche kumbaga for Yspaces? But parang what sets Yspaces apart maybe?
Sa space kasi namin is we provide a one-stop shop, no? So, but in the future kasi we are also aiming and planning to expand it those, let's example, the provinces, no? So, para makita namin yung mga small and medium enterprise in other parts of the Philippines.
So, one-stop shop for any startup?
Any startup and business.
Which area na kayo in the Philippines?
Aside kasi sabi, aside from the new business kasi, of course, we have the money numbers, which is the accounting firm, but doesn't have any, we don't have any website, we don't have any marketing, but those that we register is what we cater from know your business. And then we have the know your space, which is the Yspaces.
Ano next, sir? Know your business, know your numbers, know your space. Anyway. Sige yun, baka meron pang questions I know interested to ask Sir Ro of Yspaces. Apparently gusto magtanong ng price ng event space. So, or any question, the floor is still open.
Yeah, in regards to the pricing book, since we also conduct events, so for this event space that you have right now for the Startup Podcast, how many can this cater and how much do we need to pay if ever we want to?
Okay, so with the pricings of yung aming event space, it starts at 10,000 per hour. But if you look at like for half day or full day, meron kami special rate na you can get it for as low as 5,000 per hour basis. But for this group na lahat ng presents nandito, you can provide an additional 10% discount. Yes. So, valid niya until the first quarter of 2026. So, if you plan po your business this coming months or by next year, or have the event, so we can support the business.
Mga farmers din na actually 5,000 per hour is actually very good. Sige, are there any PGC actually in PGC? Yeah, so I think yun na yung questions. So, ayun. Thanks so much Sir Rob Falaria for this chat. And so let's give a round of applause to Sir Rob.
And thank you so much, Sir Rod. So please accept our token of appreciation for being one of our generous sponsors for the Startup Meetups. Okay?
For those, everyone who is here, so we have the gold layer with the sales team. No? So we are giving 12 months of virtual office as well. So it's, even if you have a existing registered business na, whether it's located in Regional Manila or London City or Mindanao, Cebu, so you can use our virtual office. So we have a promo, so when you sign up for any 24 months contract, so you will get additional 12 months for free. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sir Rob. So yan, if anyone here interested to register their business, register it with Yspaces. And there you have it, an afternoon full of fresh insights and discussion. And this event was made possible all thanks to our Rockhead sponsors, Agile Data Solutions, Fast Business Consultancy, ONEPHP Technology, Hier, Payroll, and Edusuite, along with our agent sponsors, Easy Sourcing, and our project sponsor, ECOMOVE and KINTAB for their generous support. Please do like and follow them across their social media pages. And of course, because of them, we'll proceed now to tokens from our project sponsors. It is our way of saying thank you to everyone who attended this first ever Startup Meetups, as we know how luxurious weekends are, as it's our time for rest. So please have your tokens from our podcast team at the back. Everyone, go ahead, meet new people, exchange cards, ideas, and maybe link and follows. Remember, every great startup started with a simple conversation, and maybe one starts right here. Thank you so much for being here with us today, and let's keep building, collaborating, and dreaming big together. Together, let's reach for the stars. And please, maybe we can compress. We're gonna have our co-creating opportunities.
Thank you very much to our 62 patrons. This episode is super powered by AskLex PH Academy, our official e-learning partner. Get certifications on Lean Six Sigma project management, data science, and more. Argum AI. Make smarter decisions by presenting both sides of an issue as argued by two distinct AI models. Pixel by ePlayment. Turn content into opportunity. Grow deeper connections and earn more only with Pixel. Sign up at pixel.eplayment.co. School of Profits. Filipino-led community for aspiring freelancers, VAs, agency builders, and online earners. Built to help you start, grow, and earn online together. Founders Launchpad, our ecosystem partner. Early stage accelerator providing venture capital funding, operational support, and mentorship. Hire Business Solutions, provider of the most configurable cloud-based payroll system in the Philippines. Agile Data Solutions, the Philippines' fastest growing market insights tech company with its data gathering platform, Hustle PH. Smile Checks, streamline hiring and onboarding with automated background checks. Cloud CFO, cloud accounting service provider for businesses ready to grow. Cloverly, all-in-one digital platform for property developers. Body Beaties, accessible and personalized diabetes self-management application. HKB Digital Services, tech-based business tools including payroll, ticketing, and loyalty rewards. Hyperstocks, digital banking enabler for rural and thrift banks. One CFO, CFO services, bookkeeping and tax, and payroll processing for startups and small businesses. Unawa, driving digital transformation with secure, legally enforceable electronic signatures and robust AML compliance. Wonderbrand, data science-driven brand strategy and design for emerging markets. TVCode Technologies Incorporated, IT solutions specializing in software development, blockchain smart contracts, digital wallets, and cybersecurity. NutriCoach, personalized nutrition and weight loss programs for you. This episode is powered by East Point Business Outsourcing Services, Filipina Home-Based Moms, Hex Colony, Sugbudo, Algacon Aquafeeds, Juan Algae, Grey Wolf Technologies Philippines, Pareto Consulting, Jura.ph, Big Giant Games, Pahatid PH, Wasteless PH, Tech Tribe, Yay, Uplift Code Comp, Board Prep, Serious MD. Support the podcast through the links in the description.